There you go, my bro. If you want to get that up and over there. Get the YouTube position.
Yeah,
All
right. Yeah, what we doing?
And we'll get the Facebook one in.
How many streams?
Do the clap.
How many streams is that?
Quite a few, man. We got YouTube live.
Okay, wait. I want to share.
Yeah.
Anyone want mins?
Yeah, I'll take
No.
Here you go.
Talking soul, can't really.
All right, can everyone talk in the mic?
Selling marijuana. Second clock.
Can I get everyone to talk into the
Mic
mic?
check, 1, 2. 1, 2.
Unos dos.
So it's
1, 2, 1, 2.
What's your YouTube page? Facebook
All right. Cool. Mine?
The Facebook where it's going on?
I forgot myself.
KELLY.
KE.
It's all good.
So right now I got the
Space
Turono
ML
Talks page
LNY.
one as well.
Let's pop that up. What the hell?
Yeah.
Instagram thoughts, man.
Is there also Instagram live?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how to do this host party thing. Does anyone know how to do the host party?
Oh no. That's a feature for the
So I
group.
just added you as a friend. It's
Yeah.
Look at this.
All right.
Let's see if I'm
We
ready.
ready to roll?
Okay, let's do
We
that.
are ready to roll.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Clap, clap.
Clap. Give you the clap. Turono Talks, episode 17.
Yeah.
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 I seem to be talking to myself right now.
No, I'm trying to figure out how to share the Turono Talks
Yeah,
basically
bro.
and start watching it because I got that going in instead of my personal page right now. And I figured I'd go off. I'd stream off that page today instead of my personal one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna share that so more people.
Get traffic.
Yeah. But there's supposed to be like some like host party shit. Like I seen people do a host party thing before, whatever. Like you're.
That sounds like a crazy origin.
I don't know, man. I see people do weird shit on Facebook all the time, and I can never quite figure it out. So
True.
I'm just trying to figure it out exactly what's going on here and how to get all this shit going on.
Well, now that we got the scientific breakdown of the Facebook group from our homie Dustin, who else do we got in the place to be?
Alright. Me, whatever. Fuck off. I don't mean like that, man. I'm just here,
Just
man.
regular Mike Stone
Yeah,
talk.
man. I'm tired right now, man.
I like it.
All right. And you, my man, we got a special guest.
Kid from Germany, rapping in English. Toronto, WizTheMc.
All right. And so it's actually, me and Wiz, he'll be on the radio show next week, so you'll catch the full interview. But we met on the TTC, he was doing a music video. I thought that was
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah. And
Getting down to TTC?
yeah.
What the fuck?
So that's how that shit
What's
went
up?
down, the Queen Street car. And then I realized Mike Stone's following him, so I'm like, I asked him while we're waiting for you to show up. I'm like, yeah, our other homie's late. He'll be here soon. And then Mike's put on blast. And I was like, Mike Stone. He's like, oh yeah, I know Mike. And so fucking, now tell me the story about how you guys know each other.
I noticed him putting up a bunch of posters all over, like more the core of downtown.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I have not seen anyone in Toronto in like God knows how long do this type of promotion ever. So I'm like, who's this kid? So I hit him up on Instagram. I said, I saw your shit around town. And peace. You know what I mean? You're putting in work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
So
yeah.
She from Germany?
you saying he does the best promo in Toronto?
I wouldn't say the best. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying the best. What I'm saying is, in a long time, I haven't seen people go out of their way to promote themselves in the city.
Fact.
Even at their own shows. If you do a show and you're not giving out propaganda, you have no posters in the club or outside of the club, you're like, what the fuck you
Who
doing?
knows who's there, right?
Yeah, at least give us some CDs.
But you know what a huge problem is in this city when it comes to the postering? Because I just saw someone actually make a post about it this week, and I've been a victim of this many times. Is there's crews who actively go around downtown and they tear those posters down. It's usually like some disgruntled old looking dude, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, bro, what the fuck? Like, taxes, when I pay my taxes, I don't want to go into this shit. Or there's somebody who goes around and they just poster over your shit.
Yeah.
Like I've literally put up posters and an hour later gone.
Yeah.
And spent like 2 hours in the cold, go back an hour later just to check that corner and everything is gone. It's like, what the fuck? It's a waste of time, waste of money, waste of energy, so it's a little bit tough. But you know what? One of the secrets my boy showed me was like, especially if you have like bigger posters, like maybe 2 feet or whatever.
Yeah.
You stack, you do them in like 3s or 4s so you can get them all around the pole. But what you do is you push them way, way, way up high. So you put like 4 or 5 and you push them up as high as you can go.
Yeah.
And someone might be able to come along and rip down like
1 or
2 or
2.
3 or 1 or 2 of them, but they're not gonna be able to get those ones that are high up. And those are the ones that will be up there a lot longer.
I have a crazy story of like one morning I was like posting around like where was it? Bellwoods, Trinity Bellwoods.
Yeah.
And was
Shout out
posting and then
Trinity
like
Bellwoods.
and then this woman like she was next to me. She like I saw her ripping off like some other posters on like another pole thing, and then she came up to me and said, "I'm gonna rip all your posters down. Don't waste your time." I said like, "Yo, I can't change you. Like you do you, you know." And I kept on like posting, you know. Like some people just want to like destroy and want to make, you know, I don't know.
They want to mess with your day. They want to fuck with
They
you.
wanna
I
mess
feel
with you.
you.
I don't know. I don't fall for shit.
I don't know if they're jealous or they feel like, you know what I'm saying, like you're fucking up the environment or something. They gotta be like environmental, you know, soldiers, which I mean I think is great or whatever, but I don't really think it's bad to put up posters, you know, poles or whatever.
man,
like it's
people are
urban.
just, people are just
you know what I
rich
mean?
and have nothing
Yeah.
to do with their time.
It's a bylaw, so you know, you want to save money, you know. You
Speaking
don't
of
wanna go
bylaws, what do you think Obi Trice thinks of bylaws?
this
Oh,
fucking
man.
guy.
You are
Get
right
into
today,
the
man.
shits.
Hold on, but before we even go
Wow.
there, there's I actually did get
Dustin always crushing my second.
no, I was gonna say did actually get fined working at Velvet Underground for putting up posters in the area. So
There were.
yeah, there is actually, you know what I mean, some to it. But at the same time, you know what? Street teams are something that's they're not as prevalent as they were. So shout out my man Wiz for being out there putting in his own work or whatever and whatnot. But to be honest with you, like that's something Toronto lacks as well. We don't have street teams right now postering guys, and you know we definitely need that shit. So that's just I just wanted to finish off on that before you segue into the
Wow, that's a
Trice
big
bylaws.
segue too, man.
No,
I
but no,
like-
he's
I
right.
got me off
actually.
guard with that
If
one.
anybody-
it was out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying?
I got a bomb staple gun. Anybody want the street promo done? Holla at me. We could work out a budget.
The Reaper's
Okay.
Way is working today.
Hey.
Hey, shout out Governor, man. Gov, you sent me about shout
Noise,
out.
noise for rapist wit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord Jesus.
Yeah, you got Dustin clapping to
That's
that.
great. But shout out Gov, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
big up
wild.
Gov, man.
Shout out
to the
Gov.
governor.
I'm already a fan of the Monarch page, Gov. You know what I'm saying? Like he's even hitting me up all day to
Oh,
join that
word,
page.
word.
It's like, bro, I'm already, you know, saying I'm already on
Yo,
this,
we
man.
got our
Oh,
first
glad.
like music video feature, man.
We did. That was dope. So
Big,
shout out
man.
Gov for
Like
that one.
say
man. That
word.
was a
I was
big
like,
thing,
what?
man.
We moving on up.
Yeah, moving
Shout
on.
out to Gov.
Yeah.
Shout out to Prince Beats.
Yeah.
All right, let's take this over to the personal page here. We're gonna end this and take this over to the personal page. But yeah, it's a
Yeah.
dope little video, man. Shout out Gov, shout out Prince Beach. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
the
saying?
name of the track again is
Yo,
what
what up to
Slums
Craig?
Were From, right?
I'm gonna take this over
Hey.
to my personal page, so hit me
Slums
up on my
Were
personal
From.
page
Check
about
that
2
out by
minutes,
Gov.
man.
Dustin
Oh shit, we got Ruby Red on here too, man. So we got people.
Dustin
Oh, you know, let's keep it up on here, then, man. Fuck it.
Do you have Wi-Fi here?
We
There is
do.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, but we're live, so I can't tell you
Okay.
what it is.
True.
I'm about to write that down.
I could write that down though. We could do this
Yeah.
like Morse
Shout
code.
out Ruby, man.
We don't want
Ruby,
to end up like Kanye when he gave away
Ruby
his
hit
phone
me
call.
up last
Yeah,
night before I was on the show,
Morse
man.
code.
Yeah, Ruby Red. Oh
Yeah,
shit,
shout out
man, Ruby.
Were you at the Obi show last
Yeah,
night?
Obi, yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
how I
shout
got
out
that
Ruby.
footage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys try those things
cookie
for
and
Ruby?
cream?
No, I didn't try mine yet.
I
Yeah.
tried
liked
like
it.
two of them. I was
Yeah.
flying.
Real.
And then I left them at my people's place. And
Word.
they're like, when are you gonna pick it up? I go, you guys have it, man. I don't want it anymore.
Craig saying Ruby lit the stage up on fire last
Yeah,
night, man.
no,
That's
Ruby,
what's up,
Ruby
man.
killed it.
That's my guy right
I
there.
got a bunch of dope pictures with him because I was doing like photography last night at the show. I have a bunch of dope pictures of Ruby. Like just chilling and shit.
Nice.
He's a photogenic dude though.
Yeah.
Pause.
Nah, he is, man. Ruby's dope. What he does, man. He's one of the
Photogenic,
photos in the
photogenic,
city,
man. Stop this nonsense, guy.
I'm just covering my grabs here.
Yeah. Touching all the bases and shit.
This guy.
Pause.
So pause. So you posted the video or whatever, apparently it's going viral or it might go viral, or
I don't
Obi
know
just
about
going on a
viral,
rant or something. Like
Yeah,
what's
he
up with
just
all that
like
shit?
started
man?
going in on gay people and
Was there like a particular
they
thing
do
that
that-
went into it?
Yeah,
or
you know that
what, you know
We'll
what
Die One
caused
Day
it?
song?
Yeah.
He started doing it and like right before he started his verse like, so when I hit the buffet, yo, hold on, cut the beat. And he's like, they don't want you to say faggot no more.
Oh,
And then you like
word.
start like going in, like then I looked at Ches, I'm like, I should be filming this.
Yeah.
So I pulled out the camera phone, and then within like 5-10 seconds after, he pulled his out. So the footage he's got up, that's his footage. He's like, I couldn't find yours. I thought it was on IG. I'm like, no, it's on YouTube.
Word, that's what's
So
up.
I actually got the better clip. No disrespect. Shout out to Cheza.
Yeah,
Big shout out to
shout out, man.
Cheza and
That's a family there, man.
They gave me a ride to Whitby last night. So
Oh,
shout out
word.
to them.
What was-
Did you apologize to Mo for us not getting him on the show?
Oh fuck.
Sorry, man. We'll get
Damn.
you on next week, bro.
Yeah, we'll get you on next week. Oh,
No,
man.
shout out to Ches and Mo, man. That's
Yeah.
dope.
What was
so,
the move?
We're gonna
Go
start
ahead.
calling him Mo Damon.
Mo Damon, yeah.
Hey.
M.O. Demon, I like it. So he just couldn't say the word, or he was about to say the word and just decided, hold on, cut that, and just went in on a rant about
About how you can't use the word.
You know what's
faggot
really
anymore.
crazy? I actually watched the Unsung for Brand Nubian yesterday. I was just going,
Yeah.
I figured it was something that you probably watched in the last week or
I've
two,
seen
whatever.
that,
Like I
yeah.
think we're on the same path watching YouTube
Yeah.
shit right now.
And Mike.
there was that part where they talk about, like they had the
Yeah.
song and and
Like
how
a freak fly flow, fuck up a faggot.
right and
I
how
don't
they,
understand the ways, and I ain't down with
Yeah.
gays.
and it got them in mad shit back in
That
the
actually
day.
sounds like some real hillbilly shit if you listen to it. Like,
Like,
that sounds like some
But so that
straight,
actually
like,
does sound
Yo,
like
Ruby's
hillbilly.
asking that happened
I like
last night.
so
Ruby,
that's
where were
dope.
you at, man? You was probably like, you was getting that groupie love or something when Obi went on his
Hey,
ranch or something,
Make
man.
noise for Ruby Red getting his group.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully we didn't throw him under the bus. If his girlfriend's watching, we
Does
don't
he
know
have
if
a
that really.
girlfriend?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
fuck.
at all. I'm not trying to throw him under
That's
the bus
type
like
of
that
shit we
right
should know
now.
about people before we start like saying outrageous shit.
Well,
like
that's
that.
what I'm saying. If that's what I'm saying. You
Hey
can't just throw him
man, you
under
got
the
a
bus. If he
girlfriend, you
does,
still
we
got
just- we
groupie
just-
love. You got a wife, you
There
still
you
got
go.
groupie love. It's not your fault.
What
There
is
you
the
go.
line of
It's
groupie
not
love
your
if you're in a
Yeah.
relationship?
Well, you can't control
Ooh.
what women want to do or dudes want to do.
It's
So are
you.
you
You
saying
know
you
what I'm
just
saying?
let
Like
them
No.
do whatever? You're like, I
No,
couldn't
no. I
control
mean,
it.
like,
No,
don't
I
you,
didn't do
on
anything.
your part, you can control your
you can control
actions.
what exactly.
You say to some part?
No.
What?
Yeah. To some. Did you say to some part you can control your actions?
No, you can control your actions,
Yeah.
but
So you're
you know,
responsible for your own
If someone
actions.
jumps, like a chick jumps up and kisses you out of nowhere, what are you gonna do?
Do you punch her in the face?
Nah. Nah.
You
That's
could.
horrible.
You end up like dude, like that dude from what's the football player.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get caught up in shit like that. So
No, but what happened with that is she was calling him like a nigga or something before it even happened. You
Is
know
it
what I mean?
justified in that sense?
and
And
hit
hit him,
as
and,
well.
and she hit him before he even hit her. Now, I mean, the shoving, that's like, I would say, okay, that's a little, self-defense, but when he kicked her when she was on the ground, that's where it's like, bro, you might get in trouble for that one.
Yeah.
The shoving, I can completely justify you, get the fuck away from you, shove her down one time, a little bit of force so she knows, I'm not gonna hit you, but I'm gonna put you on your ass if you don't fuck off with this. But the kicking, that's where it's like, you might catch a charge for that. You might catch a
Yeah.
fine for that
But
one.
they,
You know what I
they
mean?
dropped the charges. There's no charges.
Okay,
on
because
it, right?
because she probably doesn't want to go through the whole ordeal of it and
Yeah.
ruining her life with it coming out of what she said and what caused a confrontation, this, that, and the other.
it
You know
happened
what I
in
mean?
February, right? So
But
it's
is this
like,
justified?
Like I said, the kicking is where it's a little bit over. The pushing, I'll be like, hey, whatever, shit happens. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's absolutely justified if she provoked that. Just shove, like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
But again, when you kick, that's when it's like, bro.
and he was trying to get rid of her the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like.
So I get it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna be mad angry. You know what I mean? Not really. And Ruby was saying not really a kick. And you're right. It's not really a kick. But when you look at the size of him, and as a football player, even if it just wound up being like a wrestling fake tap at the end, anyone who sees that's gonna be like, yo, that's a big man.
So it
compared
wasn't
to
no
one.
Joe Rogan kicking.
No. It was not a Joe Rogan break you in half type
Or
kick.
what,
bro.
what happened where that
Kicked her
porn star got
shoe
beat up
with-
by her boyfriend?
Yo, if your girl can't kick you as hard as Joe Rogan can kick a fucking punching bag, then she's not the one. Bro.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Yo, Joe Rogan's kicks sound like a fucking shotgun. When he kicks that bag, boom, that shit sounds like a shotgun.
Yeah.
And there's like guys who, I guess he's been doing it for a long time, but there's some people who are like, yo, Joe Rogan's kick is like probably best in the world. They're up there with the best in the world as far as Taekwondo kicks.
Wouldn't you be
Crazy, though.
sick if like he started like a sitcom or something, or like not a sitcom, but like a TV show where like every episode he just kicked crazy shit in with his legs?
Yeah, it's called Fear. Was it Fear Factor?
Yeah, but like what if he like did like
The
Joe-
new version. You gotta like take
no
a kick from
fear,
Joe.
the factor of
Yeah.
no fear.
You gotta take a
You
kick from
just-
Joe Rogan to get that $1 million at the end of the
Yo, that's
episode.
crazy.
No padding, just a straight kick to
To
the
the
fucking
nuts.
breadbasket. Because the
Yo.
nuts will hurt and you'll pass out, but someone kicks you in your stomach and you can't breathe, like that. I think that might be worse if it's that hard.
But Joe Rogan's probably cracking ribs,
He
like,
probably would.
and like before,
He'll kill
like
you.
every
He'll be,
competition,
like,
it should
into
show
a
him
ball
kicking
bag.
something insane in half, like a stack of bricks, like
An alligator.
just so like it leads up to suspense for like what this person's about to endure.
Kicking an alligator.
Yo, we have to patent what we just said. Like, yo, Joe Rogan can be the new Chuck Norris.
We want to start that campaign that Joe Rogan is the new Chuck Norris.
Yeah, but like for this rebrand, like we own the rights to this. Like,
He's probably watching this right now.
yeah. If I watch this rebrand happen, then I'm convinced people are stealing our
That's why we
ideas.
gotta record.
Yo, I got a boy who like buys a Chuck Norris calendar every single year. Like
Same.
every month, it's like the most stupidest quote, but he like doesn't blaze through it when he buys it, so it's a surprise once he flips to that next month.
Yo, that's funny.
Yeah,
shit.
like and I'm just looking
That's
at it and I'm
funny
like, yo,
shit.
this shit's hilarious, man.
That is funny shit. Like to just surprise yourself, like, hey, you're
Yeah.
crazy for that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Just every month, you're like,
yeah. New Chuck Norris meme. Like,
You're
all
just like-
right.
you're planning out constant happiness.
So we'll turn that into a new Joe Rogan meme every month. We'll make Joe Rogan calendars and all types of shit.
Joe Rogan and Emma Little should fight,
My money's on Joe.
and then whoever wins can come up in the following week.
Imagine getting Joe Rogan on the show.
Yo,
That'd be
that
cool.
would be crazy.
Yeah, man.
Joe Rogan out here? Fuck, man, that would be awesome.
I think
He would've come on our
I
show,
think he
though.
needs that rebrand.
You think so?
Yeah, it's time. It's time to.
His
be the new Chuck
podcast is doing
Norris.
you grow like the beard and
He doesn't
the
even have to
cowboy
do that. He
boots.
just has to take that position. Like he just like has
He
to
almost
start
has it.
kicking crazy shit.
He needs
in
to
half
become a
all the
meme.
time.
He almost has it. His show is like the hottest podcast in the world right now.
No, yeah,
so-
make some noise for
Like,
the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
The podcast is fine.
Yeah, man. We got some good episodes. You know, I hated
It's
on
the
from
battle
time
of
to
the
time for
Joes,
some of the
Joe
people
Budden
who's on
versus
there.
Joe Rogan.
Oh shit!
They should
Yeah.
fight
Oh
for
fuck!
the podcast title.
Yeah, and like the rights to like who's the illest bald headed motherfucker.
Yeah,
Both bald.
they're very similar actually.
Kind of.
It's just like
You know what? Yeah.
Joe Budden just has a bit more of an Alex Jones touch to him.
You think so?
Yeah, he's always yelling.
Because Rogan has some
Yeah.
questionable people
And
on his
coming
show
up
from
with
time
his
to
own theories
time.
for shit. And
Yeah, I feel you. I feel
Rogan
like
just like
Rogan lets some
provide-
questionable. You might be a little bit more open minded.
Yeah, like he brings in controversial people, like which is cool. And
Yeah.
he gives his perspective on what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like when he puts people in their place too.
True.
Like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
True. I think like Buttons might have the street edge, but
Yeah.
Rogan will definitely kick Joe Budden's ass. Like if they were to throw down,
Yeah.
I don't think Buttons would last
Nah.
round against Joe Rogan.
That's not happening.
Yo, because like I don't know if people really know. You know what I'm saying? They see him as just a host or as a comedian or the Fear Factor guy, but that guy is he's a martial artist. He's an expert fucking martial artist, man.
I don't want that smoke.
No, I would not fuck with Joe Rogan at all. And like I didn't realize it until a couple years ago. I started seeing some training videos from him. I was like, yo, when the fuck did Joe Rogan get this ripped? And when did he start throwing? I guess 25 years of doing MMA commentary, you're gonna get in the ring and fucking throw down,
Like
right?
Joe Rogan might be the trippiest human being alive.
Maybe he's a
He's
pretty cool
trippy
dude.
as shit, man.
He likes his hallucinogens or his
You can like
DMT.
kick
So.
cars in half. He does drugs. It's like that. Like just those two right there. That's like. Whoa,
When
you
the fuck did he
Superman?
kick a car in
You
half?
Superman fan?
Tell me, when did Joe Rogan kick a
Yo,
fucking
Joe
car in half,
Rogan
bro?
been secretly kicking cars in half so he can start his rebrand.
Mm.
He's like, yo, first
Some
stunt-
Street Fighter 2
first
shit.
stunt,
Yeah.
I'm kicking this fucking
What is this?
Honda in half.
Street Fighter 2 fucking bonus round?
Yo, man, he's going for a rampage. He wants to be the gorilla on the building.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I love that video game.
Yo, same. Let's
Big
make some
game.
noise for Rampage.
Yeah. Is that your favorite old school video game?
No, mine are Mario ones, 100%.
I like
I
Megan.
just like things that do mushrooms.
Oh my god. You're just always on the fucking drug tip.
I'm always on some tip. Pause.
Oh shit. Yeah, definitely. That's pause
Yo,
word,
stop your
man.
nonsense, me.
Fucking pause word. That's fucked up. Nah, mine would be Mega Man 2, man. I think that's my favorite.
Oh,
old school.
word?
Yeah, I love that game. That was the first video game that I really
Who's
like.
winning
beat.
the fight though? Sonic the Hedgehog or fucking
Mega Man?
yeah?
Mega Man.
I don't know,
It's a
man.
fucking animal
Sonic
versus a
just
robot.
spin
What do
at
you
you.
think?
Just spin at you though.
Yeah, he's a fucking animal. You're talking about a robot made by fucking
Is he really a robot though?
Yeah.
Isn't he a man in a robot?
He's like a half man, half robot.
Is he like more like Terminator or more like
No.
iRobot?
More like Astro Boy mixed in with like something else. I don't
Is he like
know.
a Senator, but a mechanical one?
Isn't Senator like a half horse, half man type shit?
Yeah. Half man, half amazing.
Is it called like a centaur?
Centaur, yeah, whatever.
Call
the
it a
fuck.
fucking senator.
I was thinking of a minotaur. Isn't
Minotaur.
that like half house?
So
Horse,
senator would be like
half-
what, half like bull, or minotaur is like half bull, centaur is half horse or
I don't
something.
know, man. They're all mythical fucking nonsense.
Yeah, some weird ass creatures, man. It's like anytime I see them, it just reminds me of that old school fucking Hercules cartoon when I was a kid. Hey, Hercules.
Yeah,
You have the fucking ring. You remember that shit,
Yeah,
right?
that's 6:30 in the morning. So.
Yeah.
My
Used to wake
shit.
up mad early and watch that and Rocket Robin Hood.
Greek mythology might be the cheesiest shit ever invented on this planet.
Nah, man. You know why I wouldn't say it? A lot of that's based off of like Aesop's fables and shit. A lot of stuff comes straight out of African and Egyptian stories. You know what I mean? And it's altered a particular way. So I like
It's
Greek
like the
mythology,
Bible.
man. There's a lot of lessons, a lot of like things that you don't really catch in the Greek mythology. You know what I'm saying? Like humility. You know what I mean? Like Achilles thought he was undefeatable. You know what I mean? And just a little spot, the back of his ankles, what fucked him up.
When
He
Jesus
didn't
walked on
protect that
water
spot.
and he got nailed to a cross.
There you go. So you know what I'm saying? A lot of these stories are just teaching humility and teaching, little parables to life that people
Like
don't
you
really
can
catch.
be touched.
Of course, anyone can be touched, and that's what they're
I
trying
think
to
that's
show
the
you.
moral of the Bible. Like you can be touched.
Kind of
Like-
in a way, In a way, it's kind of like you can
it's
be,
like it's a huge like climax that leads to you can get touched.
I didn't
Also,
want to say
like,
nothing about
people
the
die
Catholic,
and
the
they
Catholic
be-
priests, because
Yeah.
they must follow that
Yeah.
mythology.
Yo, Mike with the heat rock.
I'm trying to keep up with you, man. I'm trying to keep up with you, man.
Holy shit.
Word. Shout out my cousin
Heat
Shamar
rock of
watching.
the
You
night.
can't be touched.
That's the heat rock.
No,
You
but
can't be
that's
touched.
what it is.
Yeah.
That and how to treat, you know what I'm saying? How to treat like your fellow people. You know what I mean? It's kind of like just like a driver's manual just for operating at that period of time. Eventually, you read the driver's manual, you go take your test, and you follow it to a T. But eventually, you learn to just kick back and no. But you know what I'm saying? Like when you go take a test, you try to do everything perfectly according to the rules. But once you really get comfortable driving, you lean the seat back, you put your arm up, and you get comfortable. You hunch over, whatever.
You
turn
go
the music.
Office Space like
Yeah.
that, dude. And back up in that ass is the resurrection. No, wait, that's the wrong
So
song.
you know what I'm saying? Like those books and those stories are just kind of like
Holy
meant to
tears
get
dried
you,
up.
kind of show you something, and then eventually you kind of figure your own path and go your own way. That's just the way I see that
I think
shit.
that's what
anyways.
Scarface has music for.
Yeah, Scarface is fucking
Scarface
dope.
is the Bible of hip hop.
You think so?
Maybe for a certain era.
You
I'll say
think so?
that.
Well, for Houston, definitely for
Man,
Houston.
You mean Scarface the movie or Scarface the rapper?
The rapper.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Yeah.
talking about. But
Mm.
I mean, like you sing the Bible, like
He's
about
got
hip-hop.
lessons.
He definitely has
He's
lessons.
like a
Yeah,
manual.
I mean, he would be like a book. He'd be one of the books in the book of like hip hop.
Who gives you
Maybe
more-
the Old Testament, not necessarily the New Testament,
Who
but I
puts
feel
you
you.
on more game?
The book of Scarface.
E40 or Too Short?
What kind of game though?
Ah.
Sex game would probably be
Personally,
too short.
no, but Too Short has
Too
life
Short's
lessons
all
too,
about
man.
Yeah, he does. He
Too
does.
Short has
yeah.
life lessons too, man.
Yeah,
Too
of
Short
course.
isn't just only about pimping,
No, of
man.
course
Too Short
not.
has some, he's got some shit to talk.
I like that song,
Even on a
like-
track like It Was All Good just a week ago with Jay.
What's
you know
that
what I mean?
joint? Life is too short.
Life's Too Short in the
That's a big
ghetto.
song,
You know what
too.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
In
a
the
big
ghetto.
song, too.
So, there's a lot of these gangster rappers, people just take them on the surface, but they be talking real shit. Like Tupac, for example. Brenda's having a baby. That's where
But
Brenda's got a
Tupac
baby.
was like a different kind
Dear
of
Mama.
thing. I think he was like
no.
no, he was a different like that's a whole different beat.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, no. You know,
He's
it's
like
like Q
Black
was.
Panther, fucking like he's got
But-
like he's really like.
But that's what most of these
political
guys,
shit.
especially from LA, that's in their blood. Like these dudes from LA and from Oakland, these gangster rappers, that shit's in their blood. That was their older
That's
brothers,
true.
their cousins,
That's
their
true.
dads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever. They're just speaking now from the perspective
Even
of.
Too Short said when he moved to Oakland,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he said that it was like very like Black Panther influenced and
Fuck
stuff.
yeah.
A lot of pimps.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Even our whole language that we speak in hip hop, as far as like using, the word bitch and certain slang and whatnot, a lot of it is just from Oakland. A lot of it's from pimp culture. Because I was actually having like a little online thing with my aunt. I'm talking about that baby. It's cold outside, and she posted me where it's like, you guys listen to hip hop, call women bitches, da 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 da. And you had to defend
yeah.
it. I was like, hold up. We didn't invent that shit. You go back and watch Superfly. You go back and watch The Mac. You watch even Purple fucking Rain, Prince movie. Morris Day takes a woman, throws her into a dumpster. He's like, shut up, bitch. And this is like fucking 85, and he closed the lid on her or whatever. He's calling bitches and hoes and this and that. Hip hop didn't start that shit. That shit started long before hip hop existed. You know what I mean? But they want to throw it.
adapted, incorporated into
Hip hop
something.
kind of incorporated it, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like we didn't start referring to women of that shit. Like that language already exists.
already
It predates
exists.
Are you
hip-hop, man.
calling a
Even
woman
Miles
a bitch
Davis,
in
no,
front of Queen Latifah
even
in
Miles
91?
Davis, no, even Miles Davis's album, he's got an album called Bitches Brew.
Yeah.
And he wasn't talking about dogs, you know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying now,
What if he
even
was brewing up, like, maybe what...
And he's brewing with Cocker Spaniels and shit.
Yeah,
Miles
just like
Davis sitting there
big
cooking a
stews.
brew with Cocker Spaniels. Yeah, it's my bitches
Like on
brew.
the fire, those like massive pots, like just like brewing mad dogs in there.
They all gotta be bitches. This is my fucking bitches brew.
Golden
Cocker Spaniels,
retrievers,
Golden
full
Retrievers, get in that shit.
I put it like
Get the
this.
fuck outta here.
Literally everything from the past
Yeah.
can be dug up, dissected, and
Absolutely.
someone can be offended by it. And
Absolutely.
they have the right to be offended by it,
Yeah.
but it can. That's what I always say about hip hop.
Yeah.
Hip hop is gonna get Me Too'd
Of
real
course.
hard just
It already
now.
is though. I think
No, but it's gonna, like, people are gonna go back, look at a
Yeah.
2 Live Crew record and be like, oh, blah blah blah, and
Yeah,
go
but
off
people
on
were
that.
doing that
No,
back
but
then.
that's
No,
again,
but what I'm
again,
saying
that's
is
a
it was
record.
really
But the
bad.
difference is now is that there's a generation just like that American Pie.
Yeah.
Just like
But it's-
no, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Those people are not even from that generation.
Yeah.
They're going back to older stuff, discovering it and being offended by something they don't understand the context of. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
If
Well,
that's happening to those things, hip hop is on the fucking.
Well, again,
See, and I heard an interesting point though
Yeah.
about the Christmas song.
Mhm.
Like someone, I can't remember where I seen it. I think it might have been in some like interview or something.
Yeah.
But like they gave an interesting perspective there. Like, yo, like you got to think like back when that song was made, like women couldn't just like be openly promiscuous. It wasn't like, hey,
Right.
babe, stay the night, let's
Right.
fuck. You know what I mean? There was like lead up, and she'd have to kind of flirt back and be like, I don't think I should, and like. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like if you look at like the time that the song was written in, it's not really like this pervy song. It just comes off like that because nowadays it's just like send
no,
a dick
and
pic or, like,
I
wanna
get
fuck.
that. I get that. But the beauty of it, the way instead of looking at it and saying being like, oh, you guys are being bitches, complaining about it or whatnot. No. What we should be saying is this is a teaching opportunity now to show you how far society has come, where a woman
Yeah.
can now be open, and not only just that. Remember growing up when you were taught. No means no, right? And you'd
Yeah.
always see those infomercials where like the guy would be like, she said no, but her eyes said yes.
Yes, yeah.
So that's a throwback to that
No, that's
period
the
of
best shit I've
time.
ever heard in my
But,
life.
but that's a throwback. That's a throwback to the 40s.
I wonder
And
how
that's the
many
same
times
thing.
Bill Cosby said that.
And let me just finish too. That's the same thing too, where these churches are having these girls when they go to like youth groups and whatnot, they have them signing these virginity packs until they get married. That's the church and the father of this girl literally saying, we're gonna own your body until we decide that this man is right to take possession of your vagina and your fucking pussy and your virginity. And that's kind of like unfair to you know what I'm saying, women, because men are encouraged to go out there and sow your oats when you're young and you know what I'm saying, go out there and fuck as
Yeah.
much as you can and whatnot, because that's the manly thing to do and whatnot. But we as a society have kind of come far enough where it's like, nah, like equality, you know what I'm saying? Let her be her, let her do what they gotta do, or at least we should be coming that far. So we should, instead of saying, looking at the song and saying, stop being bitches trying to ban the song, we shouldn't necessarily ban it, but we should say, okay, it's a teaching opportunity to show you how much we as a society have progressed to the point where women don't have to fake doing that. And that if a woman says no, no means no. It's not her mouth said no, but
Do you
her
remember
eyes
that
said yes.
song, No Means No?
No, not really.
It used to be on Much Music all the time. It was the corniest shit. I
Nah.
can hit it for a minute, girl. No means no.
Yes.
Like that might be the cheesiest
Yes.
song of all time.
I do kind of briefly
Remember
remember
that
that
fucking
shit.
white roller skating
I kind of remember they were in like a roller rink
fucking
and
idiot one. He was like
yeah.
a worse version of Crazy Town.
I do briefly remember that. Yes.
But yo, like I said, man, hip hop, you're about to get it.
But
real
here's
bad.
the thing with hip hop, though.
Trust
Again,
me,
here's the
even
thing with
you're
hip
gonna
hop,
get it.
and I get, but people have always talked about it. But it's again, actions speak louder than words, and right now we're seeing the ostracization of people like Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Russell Simmons caught so
But
many
I'm not
cases where it's
talking
like,
about
oh fuck.
that. I'm talking about the music itself.
The music's always been under scrutiny.
No,
in
of
hip-hop.
course, obviously, but this is the point. If we're gonna go at a song like "It's Cold Outside,"
Yeah.
which is not blatant hip hop, you're gonna get it
But
from a
but-
new generation of people who don't understand the context where that music is coming from.
But It's Cold Outside is a holiday song.
Of course.
Hip hop is not disguising itself as
No,
a
obviously,
holiday
of course
song.
not.
It's
But
even,
what I'm
like,
saying,
crazy 'cause,
Hip hop
like,
is never, you know what I'm saying? It's like hip hop is like early rock and roll when it came out. And I mean,
No,
some of it, not
but
all of
this
it.
is the thing,
but it's
right?
just like, you know, we're
as much as
rebel music.
regardless of the
Right.
fact that rebel music is now popular music,
Yes.
and the next generation that's going to take it on,
Dumb it down and
yeah, that's why we have the music that we have right now in the mainstream.
Yeah,
Like, if it wasn't for Luke and all these guys,
yeah,
we wouldn't have this music right now.
yeah.
There's a lot of fight to get to this point.
No,
But
absolutely.
we're at a point that's kind of
Absolutely.
fucked up too.
Absolutely. They
Right.
fought for the freedom of speech and the
Yeah.
right for us to be able to say
Whatever
whatever
we
we want
want.
to say. And that's what I'm saying with that song. Do not ban that song. I'm not saying ban it. I'm saying use it as a teaching opportunity. And that's the same thing I said with American Pie. It's not that, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that, okay, the scene is so bad, you should be like, oh my God, whatever. But it's that we should watch it and 20 years later be able to say, wow, as a society, we've progressed enough to realize, hey, it's wrong to film a girl, set up to film a girl.
But that was wrong
having
back
sex.
then, though.
It kind of was, but
It
it
was.
wasn't as, whatever, because back then the internet was still new, and the concept of that being child pornography if she's under 18 was still new. St. Michael's College, those kids, whatever happened to those kids.
Yeah.
They, anyone who's in possession of the video of that, unfortunately, that kid getting, hurt with the broom, that was deemed child pornography. No matter how old the kids were or anybody who had possession of the video. And that's just where we as a society have reached. That's the part where I think people are more upset. It's just the sending out of that video unknowingly of this girl. You know what I mean? And now we've reached a point where we're like, oh, hey, you can't really do that because that, A, is child pornography, and B, you would get charged with, I think, I don't know if it's sexual
But if
harassment
you
or
watch
something
American
charge.
Pie with that deep of like a political, like economical mind, just like this, like just like,
No, but we've
like,
reached a point
like,
now.
you gotta chill.
No, but I think back then, because those laws didn't exist, it was funny to
The
us. And the
mindset
notion,
wasn't there.
Exactly. It's just now as
Was
a
it really that
society, we're
funny,
like,
though?
we
Was it
can't
really
do
ever that funny, that scene?
It was a little like
He was funny because he was like a chode.
Yeah, and
But,
he
like,
made it funny because
she
he was
didn't make it funny.
massively awkward.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. It wasn't necessarily a funny scene. The monkey in it made it funny because the monkey's sitting
Well,
like,
that's what I was
whatever,
gonna say
but-
is like if you really think about
They
it,
set it up for us to laugh at it.
Blink-182 signed on to be child pornography receiving.
Yeah, without knowing it.
without knowing. Yeah.
Or
So
just
that kind of actually goes to show, because nowadays they'd be like, "Oh fuck no, we're not being the fucking 28-year-old
Yeah.
man." I guess like this
Yeah.
14-year-old.
They never
girl
stated how
making
old they
video.
were in that movie, though. They were just a band practicing their
Yeah,
jam
they-
spot. They could have been the high
They
school
weren't
kids as
fucking
well.
17.
Probably
Blink.
weren't.
That's around the like time of like. That's after even Dude Ranch and shit. That's like.
Yeah, so they were early 20s.
Small
Yeah.
things.
They were in. It was probably 18 years
so
ago.
whack.
Yeah, he's a UFOist now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blink 182, man. Is it Blink 182 or Blink 182?
I've
Apparently,
always said
people are debating
182.
that right now.
they're really debating that?
They're really fucking
fucking
debating.
number
Like,
is-
if you're watching right now on any of these streams, is it Blink 182 or Blink 182? Hit us up and let us
I
fucking know
can't
how you
believe
say
people
that
are
shit.
fucking
I say Blink
debating
182.
this shit.
You know what? I say
People
both.
think that Tech Nine's name is Tech Nina.
I give up on this fucking
Because of
society.
the 9 in the middle.
They're
and
fucking
because
idiots.
he says Tech Nina sometimes. They like I've argued with people that.
So
like,
it's
Nina-
6'9" be would 6'9" be
Nina?
6'9"? Like how the fuck? What would they think 6'9"'s name is?
I don't know, but someone needs to come up with the name Neinstein and start it with a 9. They're gonna blow.
9 Einstein.
Just Neinstein, like people will fuck with
Man, this
Neinstein.
society's really fucked up. Look, someone type Blink 182, but you can still say Blink 182. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's
No, you gotta
Like-
spell it. You gotta like that doesn't.
yeah, exactly.
You got is it 82 or 82?
Yeah.
182
It's like
or
Lil Wayne says
182?
tomato, you say tomato.
There you
I say
fucking go.
give.
There you go. That's what's up. But fuck that shit, man. What else is popping? Oh, we never
Ain't
got into
nothing
the
else popping.
we never got into the whole Obi thing.
Yeah.
That you went into the large segue of Obi and then kind of like
I got
whatever.
a quick
So
question.
so
I got nothing else to say about
I got a
it.
quick
we
question.
didn't even
watch
really
on
talk about
YouTube.
it.
I got a quick question though, y'all.
We
What
did,
was the
I bet.
mood of the people in the place when he was saying
Yeah,
it?
what
What was the
yeah.
atmosphere like?
It was awkward.
I can
Absolutely
imagine,
right.
especially in this
It's
era,
like people
right?
didn't know what to think.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Some people in the crowd are going nuts, but then like other people, like I myself, I was like, this is awkward.
yeah,
Kind of.
I don't really
I
know
could
how to
imagine.
feel.
I
And
can
he was like
imagine.
trying to cheer the crowd, like I don't know, it was awkward.
And that's the thing. If you're gonna go on a rant like that, like that's potential career suicide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. This industry, regardless of what people think, there's people. There are homosexuals who are really, really high up in the entertainment industry, extremely high up, and you're gonna go on a rant like that.
You think
that
he's
could,
one?
I don't know, man.
Who's that?
I've heard.
Diddy.
Listen,
Oh, man.
I've heard the rumors for years, but who the fuck am I to know
Yeah.
the truth about Diddy? I ain't
he left,
shit.
he
I'm
left
just a
some
little
crumbs, as
Torontonian.
people would say. He left
Yeah.
some crumbs
He's
along the
got
way.
some trail. What about him asking Fabulous to party?
Like I said, man, you know what I mean? Like,
People really took
no,
that
but
far, eh?
But Diddy's like,
he was acting
listen,
like real feminine, man. Like, I was just like, huh? I'm
Listen,
like, whatever,
listen,
but that's
listen,
some weird
Listen,
shit.
Puffy, I don't think you're feminine. I'm trying to get this interview.
I don't think Puffy's necessarily feminine or anything like that. I think Puffy's reached an age where he's in his, his 40s. He's made enough money where he's like, yo, if I want to be a drunken fool in public, because my image has been so controlled for the last damn near 30 years, I'm just gonna be drunk and high in public, especially if I'm on Drink Champs or something. You know what I mean?
Diddy does coke.
Absolutely. Sorry for throwing you under the bus, Diddy, if you don't, or slandering you, but fuck yeah, I think Diddy
Coke
fucks
is in the
around with
marijuana.
coke. You know what? It is reaching that level. It is reaching that level. Like the amount of people that, you know what I mean, are admitting to doing it, the amount of people who are now doing it who haven't done it before, it's definitely reaching that level where it's become as acceptable for people just to do a line as it was, for them to smoke weed 10, 15 fucking years ago or even today. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Make noise for all you closet addicts coming out of the closet.
There you fucking go. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to you.
Sniff it, just admit it.
And so, some people can do it. But, I think personally, like we're gonna reach the levels where the same way 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you started to see shows on National Geographic called like, Weed in America and whatnot. You're gonna start seeing. Yeah. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna start seeing.
Was worth
Check this out. Check this out. They're gonna send El Chapo to prison here in America for what he did, right? But what do you think they're gonna do when he's in prison? They're gonna extract everything. Here's what's gonna fucking happen. They're gonna basically say, you know what? We're gonna watch people become millionaires and close to billionaires off legal marijuana. What the fuck's to stop them from saying, hey, why don't I become a billionaire multi times over off of fucking cocaine?
Well, government been becoming millionaires off cocaine.
Right,
yeah.
but
Flying it in since the fucking
okay. So if Jeff Bezos or fucking Elon Musk or one of these dudes like, hey, here's $1 billion to let me legalize this shit and let's fucking do blah 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 blah, make it safe and make sure to get this fentanyl out of the fucking coke and we'll make it safe, we'll have dispensaries and we'll control it and this, that, and the other. They can do the same thing to coke that's happened to marijuana in the next 10 fucking years.
That's why coke
and they'll make a lot more money.
So many fentanyl, because if you think about it from a drug dealer
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
You're not putting something more expensive than coke into coke to cut it.
That's where my mind's fucked up. Why are you gonna cut something where you can't even really mix enough of this to fuck with the weight? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The amount of fentanyl you're putting into that coke to cut it is not fucking with the weight. So where's your profit coming from?
Exactly.
So you're doing this to be maliciously. Okay, I get it. You're gonna make yourself a little bit more potent, but like you said, is this to potentially cause enough deaths where they can at some point in time legalize it?
I think there's incidents where it's cross contamination because so little of fentanyl can be fatal.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, though, like. Think about it, man. Like, the same people bringing coke into the country that have been bringing coke into the country. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you're right. Like, it's a scare tactic. Like, we'll start, ship it off before, like, it even gets to, like, the ground dealers.
Yeah.
Ship it, like, have fucking cut with that shit. And then, people are just kind of
Listen, man,
falling all over the place.
You don't live too far from me, and like if you come up to like my crib, you'll see exactly how bad opiates are and things of that nature.
Opiates are crazy. I got a friend who's heavily addicted to them.
Right, opiates are fucked. So I could absolutely see in the next few years, like I said, in order to like curb a lot of this and whatever, let's decriminalize majority of these fucking drugs. Like the best way to deal with all of these addicts and whatnot is to decriminalize everything. And instead of throwing people in jail, is we start working on treatment.
Rehabilitation.
Right.
Yeah.
But cocaine is a product where they can make so much fucking money that I would not be surprised if in the next 10 to 15 years, some rich assholes start saying, let's legalize this shit. And instead of just having weed dispensaries, let's have cocaine fucking dispensaries.
Makes me
because here's what
the future of cocaine.
Here's what'll happen. Here's what'll happen. Some rich politician's kid will fucking OD on fentanyl and they'll be like, we need to clean this shit up. We need to make the cocaine safe for everybody.
It's like when Rockefeller died of AIDS.
And they're talking about a different Rockefeller, not Rockefeller the businessman. So you got to be careful quoting Jay-Z rhymes, homie.
It's funny though, like
Nas. But you have to be careful quoting Nas rhymes because they never shot the nose off of the Sphinx.
They did, didn't they?
They didn't have guns.
What do you mean?
Napoleon's people?
Yeah.
They had guns.
Around that time, that's how they conquered people.
Napoleon was the one who started.
They didn't shoot no nose off the Sphinx.
It's
You'd
possible.
be surprised, bro.
It's possible, unless they climbed up.
Yeah, they
Or
went up
just
there and
fell
fucked
off.
that nose. They fucked that nose up.
But they fucked up a lot of noses on a lot of statues. Why
Yeah.
only the noses were fucked up?
Yes,
I'm
that's
not- yeah.
that was a big thing. When Napoleon's people went into Egypt, they took the noses off as many fucking statues and trinkets as they can find. Like you said, you'll find so many of them in
Oh,
museums
sorry.
where just the nose is
I
missing.
got the fact wrong. I think it was who they said shot the nose off, wasn't the person. who
Oh,
shot the
okay.
nose off.
I think you're conflating this one because you're talking about Alexander the Great. and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking-
Alexander
So
the
it was-
Great didn't shoot. the
No,
nose
but
Yeah.
it was Napoleon.
Yeah.
It was Napoleon's people who did. They
Sorry, that's the
absolutely
point
went
I
in
was
there.
Yeah.
making.
They were just like, "What the fuck is this?" And they didn't like that shit at all. But yeah, shout out to
well,
the Egyptians, man. Like to be
Never
honest with you,
quote a Nas line.
no, quote Nas lines, quote
Did you
Nas
see
lines,
the
but
strat-
do your fucking research.
don't quote him
because he
for
doesn't.
fact.
No, but that's the thing. He structures them in a way where, again, factually, line for line, you might not be able to take it, but he drops the names and drops, whatever,
Was
so that
Edgar-
you go back and look. You know what I mean?
Was
Like he'll
J.
drop
Edgar
W.E.B.
Hoover
Du
black,
Bois.
though?
No, that one I don't think
He could be.
J. Edgar Hoover was
He could have been mixed race. I don't have facts on it, but he could have
Could have
been.
been.
Could have been.
There's a few things he says in that, like
Yeah,
verse,
that
though,
exactly.
Yeah.
That song is exactly. I was
There's a
kinda
few
like,
presidents. There's a few presidents that they say had somebody. They say Abraham Lincoln, if he wasn't black, like he did have a half black brother through his mom or something.
Yeah.
So there's
Well, him being Ethiopian or whatever, or mixed like
something,
that.
right? So you'd have to like really
Yeah.
go back and look into that shit, especially if you're talking about like the guys that predate modern day photography and stuff like that. You'd have to go back and look and be like, but who the fuck knows? You
Was
could
Ike
do like
with the
DNA.
Iverson jersey real? Is
Uh,
that the biggest question, like in hip hop fandom?
Which one?
Is Ike with the Iverson jersey real?
You're just asking questions based on Nas's random fucking dribble.
Is he
Listen, shout
real,
out
though?
Nas for that shit.
I don't even know, bro.
Did the
I don't-
game really know his cousin who rocked the Gary Payton?
Maybe.
Jason?
Maybe. Isn't the game's name Jason?
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
funny now you say that. Yo, maybe the game is Ike's brother or cousin or whatever he says it is.
You just analyze this shit way too fucking
Maybe
much,
it's real.
bro.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
real.
a lot of it's not literal, but
Are you one of those
Cody
dudes
too.
that sits there on was it like
Maybe it's
rapgenius.com or whatever and just fucking reads line for line?
No,
every
I hate that
song?
shit. They put the
I love
corny
that
shit.
shit.
I dig deeper into lyrics.
You know,
than
Nas
that.
owns a-
I'm like, yo, I'm really.
You know,
trying to
Nas
understand
owns a
this.
part of that site, right?
Yeah, shout out to Nas.
Yeah. I think he also owns Mass Appeal as well.
Yeah, and I want to know if Ike with the Iverson jersey is real. Yo, I want to know how enormous Judy's ass was. I want to know if Ike with the Iverson jersey.
You need
is
to
real.
get
You've been
motherfucking-
fixated on fucking Judy's ass. You were
You
asking
need-
about that last week, man.
Yo, her ass was enormous.
hear them cool G rapping trying to get
Listen,
that.
when Nas, when
you know
Nas,
what I'm saying? Like,
when Nas starts talking about sex, he starts talking about the most graphic stuff. Like that's the stuff that when we listen to his records, we're like, yo, what the fuck?
Blow cum bubbles.
Come,
Like,
that's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Or playing with my excrement. You're like, yo, no, I don't want to hear this shit. What the fuck,
Yeah,
homie?
Nas probably
I don't
was
want to
doing
hear
that
about,
shit.
you know what I'm saying, like bad bitches and cum bubbles. Like, get the
I'm
fuck
telling
out of
you, man,
here.
when we
But
go
he
back-
talks the nastiest shit. Like, other than like an Akinelli or something, Nas talks the nastiest shit when it comes to those
That's
sexual
why it's
reference
nasty
lines.
Nas.
Yeah.
You're right. I
I
never
love
even
when he
thought about
carries the
that,
nasty
man.
though.
yeah,
Like every once in a
was it
while, you still get
nasty
some
to
nasty
to
shit out of
Esco.
Nas.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you're playing,
Now you
man.
just called me Nostradamus. Shut up, Nas. This is my
Fuck
favorite rapper of all
Nostradamus
Nostradamus is the
album.
time.
blackest phase of his career, though.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like if
I
I could make
agree.
a fart noise, we'd be making it for Nostradamus.
Yo, but I Am is still fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, or not
Nas
I Am,
is
but
Like is
fucking,
one of his best
sorry, I was gonna say
songs.
Nas is Like is a fucking crazy
And that's
record,
like
though.
top 3 primo.
And I feel like he wasn't even trying on that shit. I feel like he was just showing
Freedom
off.
to jail, clips inside of the bit. I don't know. He
just went off on
he's
that
being
shit.
poetic Nas.
Absolutely.
That was like Judy's ass is enormous Nas. It's like him looking out the project window. when he
Which
was
album you
13.
rate more, Stillmatic or Godson?
Ooh.
Godson got some heat on it too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man.
shout out Socrates and
Yeah.
Julie Black. I think they're on the
Hold on,
Godson
no,
album,
question,
right?
question. So are those two albums better than Illmatic or no?
Nah.
Nah.
I
No,
don't know,
but
man.
here's the
I
thing with
don't know,
Illmatic.
man.
Illmatic exists in a very, very, very specific period of time. So
Yeah.
the beats are very dated.
Yeah.
The rhymes
You see what
are
I'm saying,
very
right?
dated. He makes better songs
Yeah.
later on in his career. But the album Illmatic itself is a perfect encapsulation of New York hip hop
At
in
the
the
time.
early '90s.
At that time, yeah.
Absolutely. And lyricism,
Yeah.
New York hip hop. Like, it's the transition album from the old Vanguard into the new. Because
Yeah.
it's literally Rakim, Cool G, Rap, Nas into
Yeah.
Wu-Tang, Biggie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
And then
Nas
and
dropped the
Jay-Z.
same year as fucking.
No, he did.
Wu-Tang
He,
and
but
Biggie.
but just the way the rhymes are structured, like just everything is that transitional album. You know what I'm saying? It's that
Yeah.
perfect in between where it's like, okay, you get just as much. If you're an old school head, you would love it just as much as if you're a new school head.
What's the
You know what I
next
mean?
transitional album? Chronic 2001.
Nah, fuck.
Cause that whole
Yeah,
period.
Rich or Die Trying. 50
No.
really brought the harmony.
Yeah.
Ja Rule
No,
kind
no,
of,
no,
but
no.
Ja Rule doesn't have a smash album like that.
I mean, to
Like,
be
50
honest
really
with you,
brought the harmonizing to like be
But
really
50's still a
popular.
product of the 90s, so it's like, it's hard to say. He almost brought the 90s into 2000 and
That's what I was
updated
saying,
level.
yeah.
Kanye West, the first
Kanye.
one, yeah, the college dropout,
That got like the certain audience on
That,
it. Then
and
when
then,
he went pop, it like
808 and Heartbreak.
that's
because
when
that
it
album-
really got like.
And here's the thing, people
Like,
fucking hated that
yeah,
album, right?
yeah,
People
yeah.
hated that album when it came out, but that album, the person most responsible for that album is Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
If you go back and listen to Man on the Moon, it's a superior album. Like, it was Cudi's style. You know what I mean? Cudi showed Drake how to, you know what I mean? How to harmonize. Drake didn't start harmonizing until he started fucking with Cudi.
All right.
Remember, the three that came out that were supposed to be the new kings of the game were
Call him
Cudi,
Mr. Chimney.
Wale, and Drake. You know what I mean? Drake went on to get the most success, but Cudi, man, like,
So Drake
that
took
early album
Cudi's
was dope.
style,
Didn't necessarily
and then
bite his
told him to kill
style.
himself.
No. It didn't necessarily bite his style. But at first, if you go back and look at the
That's crazy.
Pursuit of
Stealing a
Happiness.
style from someone and then telling them to kill themselves.
Nah, you're looking at it all
crazy.
fucked
yeah.
up. They
That's
might have
what
had
he
some
did
beats or
though,
whatever.
right?
But remember,
So-
Pursuit of
Didn't he
Happiness,
say, like,
Drake's in the
make
video
fun of
shaking
him
a
'cause
bottle
he
of
had
champagne and
suicidal
shit,
thoughts?
right? Yeah, because Cudi was heavy into the fucking blow and mental issues.
Yeah.
Same thing as Kanye. They pretty much the same fucking person, other than the fact
Kanye
that
sniffs blow.
hell yeah,
How big?
hell yeah.
Do you think he's sniffed a line from Kim Kardashian's forehead to her toes?
What?
That's fucked up.
Possibly.
That's
Like
crazy.
a line down her whole body?
Possibly.
Maybe, I don't know.
Think about it,
I
Kanye.
don't-
Yeah, why not?
Apparently, he just puts porn on when they're chilling in the studio.
Aziz Ansar said that shit or whatever,
A number of
right?
people I've worked with have been like, it's
Yeah.
kind of weird. Like, he.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking weird.
Yeah, well,
You just
he
put
likes
some
Trying to
porn,
watch,
man.
trying to watch porno with fucking Kanye.
Well, I don't
Fuck
know.
outta
I
here.
feel like I'd be a bit distracted trying to like write a song with Kanye West. I'm like, oh shit, I'm here in the studio with Kanye, and then it's like fucking like
Yeah.
Bukkake 14, and Kanye's just sitting there like watching it like, with a critical mind. Like he's not even like, you know what I mean, getting off. He's just like interested. The lighting in this shot is beautiful.
The
You know,
angling,
he's
the
like
angling's
looking at, like,
amazing.
something
He needs,
in
he
the
needs to
porn.
actually produce a porn.
You're killing me, homie.
I gotta cut.
Alright, my man, yo, thanks for coming through, Wiz.
Yeah, man, peace, y'all.
Homie.
Yeah,
Nice to
man.
meet you.
Yeah, man,
Rolling
peace
through.
out.
Shout out
Yeah,
Wiz
man.
the
Respect,
MC,
y'all.
straight from Germany.
Yeah, man, no
See
problem.
Catch that interview
Yeah,
with my man Maloney. Maloney interviewed him.
Hey,
He's out of here. So we
Yeah.
dolo solo for the first time in a few weeks. Just the three of us.
yeah.
It's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah,
Alright,
it is
now
Fucked
man.
up.
So it's time to get to the shits.
I guess so.
What shits are we getting to?
I don't know. Who's your friend first?
The whole fucking world, man. Make the whole
Alright.
fucking world kiss my ass after I took a big shit and didn't wipe it.
Alright.
So let's do this. Let's get into the shits.
Um,
Who are you gonna
Fuck.
offend?
well,
Did we talk about the big bear biting?
Big Bear
Bear
biting? What's
What
that?
the fuck is that?
I could have even used a pause.
Alright, what is the big bear button? Should I
What is
switch
it?
this channel over
It
to my
had
pictures? Keep it on
it
here.
had our group chat popping the other day.
Big bear biting.
Whatever the fuck Mike called it. He's like, oh, we woke the bear or something. Or we
Oh,
woke the
which-
beast. Did we talk about that?
Which one though? Not the Mercury's joint.
Yeah, we just talked
Oh, the
about
Merc-
Oh.
Remember, when you were asking if Merc bought fucking
it. Yeah,
bought views or whatnot?
and then he responded to
Yeah, shout out Mercs, man. Yo,
Yeah,
Merc
big up to
fucking
Merc,
responding,
man.
man.
Merc,
That's
man.
what's up,
Yeah,
man.
man. Big up
Shout out to
Mercury's,
Big Merc
man.
for
And just to
responding
clear
back
the
to us,
record,
man.
if you listen in context, I'm not saying I think he does. I'm asking you.
No, you asked a question, yeah.
Because it's rumored. So I just.
You
don't
said,
wanna
do
be-
you think? You didn't say, I
Sources,
heard.
Yeah.
Rumor.
I got you. You said, do you
Yeah.
think? You did not say, hey, yo, I heard. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's what's up.
What
No,
do you
I don't think Merc does. In all honesty,
I don't.
I don't think enough people really give him the recognition. He's definitely top 5 in this country as far as recognition, as far
Yeah,
as
man, he's
touring,
killing shit.
as far as views online. As far as respectability. Like I ain't never heard anybody other than a couple weeks ago when he put out the battle. If anybody wants to battle me, and a bunch of kids out in Calgary try to say shit and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard anybody shit on Mercules. You know what I'm saying? Like
No.
dude's dope.
Obi Trey showed him out last night.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Dude's
Isn't Obi
fine.
Trey shout out a good look now though?
I don't think it. I mean, I hope it doesn't offend anybody, but I don't think it carries as much weight today as it did at 15 years ago.
No, I just meant because of his recent comments.
Yeah, but I don't
See
even
how
think
that
people
is,
even
see where that
remember who he
goes.
is like that.
Yeah,
Like, what was the capacity of the spot last night?
20,000.
Fuck out of here.
Eminem showed up for a feature.
Stop this
They
nonsense.
knocked their
Yo,
shit
did he
hits
put
the
his
fan.
orange door hinge in
And
storage?
Dr. Dre came straight from the bank in a Bentley and drove on stage.
But did Eminem put his orange
Watching
4-inch
a
storage
satellite.
in his orange 4-inch door hinge in storage?
I don't know, but
Nah, but how many people?
is getting stomped by 80 people the only way you'll ever feel a defeat?
Oh,
That
shit.
was a dope
No,
line,
getting
so-
stomped by 40 people.
Some shit like that.
Yeah.
Getting stomped by 40 people is the
Okay,
only way you
yeah.
feel
I
it.
thought
is
that
the
was
only way
alright.
you
It
feel
was
it.
alright, like, it was a little
I seen a
clever
meme
shit.
that was funny. Someone broke that down on like Twitter, and
Yeah,
then like
it's
the
like, oh
person
my
responded,
God.
and they're like, "This is why white people aren't allowed to rap."
And then, no, but you know what's hilarious? The comment right under it was shut the fuck up. You're a white rapper from Detroit yourself.
I didn't see that. That's
It was like, yo, you're a borderline white rapper from Detroit yourself. Who are you to comment on this shit?
Yo, that's
so
crazy.
shout out whoever made the meme and the guy who called him out. You know, called the guy out
Gotta
for
get
making
those
the meme.
clapbacks, yo.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but you know what?
Clapbacks.
What was
It
the
is what
best
it is.
clapback of 2018?
Twitter-wise or internet-wise?
Just any clapback we've seen.
I don't know. 2018 has been an interesting year. Probably fucking something between
What about
Cardi and
Pippin's
Nicki.
wife?
What was that?
Hey, what did Pippin's wife say about Future? What'd she say?
She
Or was it
like-
about Pippin?
She went on some big like press run. Basically, it's just like to defend that she's fucking Future.
Yeah.
But it was
Who
like,
looks exactly like Scottie Pippen with
Yo.
dreads?
Future's a nasty motherfucker.
Yo, Future been banging Bow Wow's
Bow Wow,
exes.
Like yo,
You know how many kids that guy
people
got?
when you like you don't bring your. It's like you remember when they're like, yo, don't bring your girl around.
Yeah.
Play it for real. That's
Yeah.
like
True player for
Future-
real, ass puff daddy.
Like, you don't go.
See,
to
Future's the
fucking-
new Usher.
I don't know, man. You don't go to an industry
Shit.
party with your girlfriend if
Future's
Future's
there.
there. You're gonna be
Okay.
like, all right.
Okay. Well, shout out to Sierra for breaking free from the Future and getting herself an NFL dude. But yeah, unfortunately,
Is that
Bow
a level
Wow.
up or a level down?
That's a level up, man.
Is
I mean,
it?
maybe because it depends how long this guy can make money.
And it
NFL guys
depends how much
have the
lean
shortest.
Future really drinks.
That's true. I don't think Future drinks them at all.
I heard he doesn't at all.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
do
He's
that
just
shit at
influencing
all.
a ton of children to do it.
Of course, man. Come on. You think? Listen, lean is fucking heroin light. You can't be. You know what I'm saying? Like if your output's gonna be serious like that. And you know who his uncle is? You think you honestly think like the forefather, the founder of fucking Dungeon Family is gonna let his nephew be out there?
Oh, that's his
tripping?
nephew.
Yeah, Rico Wade.
From
Rico Wade's,
organized.
yeah, Organized Noise.
Yeah.
Rico Wade's his uncle. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude came up in the industry. So when people shit on Future, I'm like, you don't even know what background this guy comes from.
No,
like,
he's
there was a
country
reason
family.
why when Outkast performed at, was it Coachella, that Future was performing with them. You know what I'm saying? And that was Outkast's first performance in like 10 years. So shout out Future getting that fucking Dungeon Family money.
Straight up.
Same thing with Killer Mike, you know what I'm saying? You look at, and that's crazy, because if you look at Dungeon Family might not quote unquote be making noise like that right now,
Yeah.
but their affiliates are, because fucking Future's killing it. And then if you were to look over at fucking Run the Jewels,
Are they the
Killer
new
Mike's
Juice Crew?
killing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are they the new Juice Crew?
Nah, they're the Dungeon Family.
Well, you
You
can
know,
kind of
they're organized noise.
Juice Crew.
Yeah, you can put that in a context if you want to put it like that.
Yeah,
The
but
Juice Crew used to be the poppin' MCs like Curtis Blow and shit. And
they've
then-
had a
then they had the
longer
new
run than the Juice Crew,
generation.
man. They've had a
And
way
that
longer run than the Juice Crew, man.
Yeah, real shit.
Way longer.
It's a longer run, but
Even probably more successful. Way more
still
successful.
Drake's had a longer run on the charts, but you wouldn't like not say he's not the new Jay-Z.
Yeah, but you know.
Ooh. That
Yeah,
is
but
true.
you know what?
That is true, but he has that little. He's got the J.
But to say,
one.
but to
I-
say
I-
that,
I
to
was
say
gonna
that
start
organized
referring to it,
noise,
you know,
you're not
yeah.
gonna refer to organized noise as the new Juice Crew, considering the fact that organized
Does
noise
it
has
sound-
been out
does
for
it-
almost 30 years.
Does it sound better than if we say the Juice Crew is the old organized noise?
No, I say they're the old Dungeon Family. No, that doesn't make
I
sense.
think
No,
they
they're the own
stand
thing.
there, they
They're
probably
their
have
own
stand
thing.
in
You
their
know
own
what I'm saying?
category
Yeah,
because of what
They're
they've
their own
That's why I
thing.
meant Dungeon Family, but
Their own thing. You know what I mean? If anything, like organized noise is more comparable to the Jungle Brothers. They could be like the Jungle Brothers of the
but
South.
yo, I
You know what I mean? As opposed
I
to
watched an interview that was kind of disheartening
Mm.
with like Plug 1 and 2 or like De La Soul and shit. And they're
Yeah.
like native tongues. Are, like,
Sorry,
never-
native. I'm gonna say native tongues, not Jungle
it
Brothers.
was never
They're the
really a
native
thing.
tongues of the South.
They're like we were friends, but like we never like collectively made music
Yeah.
together. Like Buddy's really the only song we have together.
Yeah.
I think it was
So,
just
like,
they had a
we've done
sound.
like other collabs and stuff when we've been working in the same studio. He's like, but we never like collectively like
Yeah.
aimed to like be native to, like, you know, like
Yeah, like let's call ourselves a
and
crew.
like make sure
and-
we're on each other's albums and
Right.
shit. He's like, this shit just random, like happened randomly. And we're
Yeah.
all friends
For sure.
And we all kind of represented almost similar styles,
For sure.
pockets of hip
For
hop.
sure.
He's like, so it just like became a thing. He's like, but
And
no,
that's
like,
what it is, because you know, like-minded people attract like-minded people.
It's
You know
just
what I mean?
something unofficial that just happened.
Right.
So
So
that's
these
why I
guys have
wouldn't
seen each
compare
other.
the two, because
Yeah.
Organized Noise and Dungeon Family is like a little more.
No, but it's the same
structured
thing.
than that
It's the same.
kinda.
It's the same thing with Organized Noise and Dungeon Family. Like for example, Outkast, like they were together, but Goody Mob, they weren't really a group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just all other dudes who came
right,
and spit at
came
them.
and spit and whatnot. Outkast was the last to come in, but then you start adding like Cool Breeze and whatnot. Outkast was the high school dudes, and you
Yeah.
start adding Cool Breeze and whatnot. So again, it was just something where it was like, collectively, it just happened out of this guy's basement, and all this talent came out, and eventually they're able to move on.
We
and up.
could compare it to OVO.
I don't think OVO has enough artists to compare them to anything.
I mean, in terms of somewhat affiliates, the whole in-house production team,
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
the writers. Like it's
You
a
can
collective
call
again.
OVO a juice crew in that sense. You got like
Or
Riley,
even
you
a
got-
new version of the organized.
But to be
noise.
honest with you, like OVO,
Yeah,
like
it
in
depends.
theory sounds good. But I mean, like until P Rain or Baca are really like out there holding it down on their own,
Yeah.
on a level like that, OVO is really just Drake and 40.
Yeah,
You know,
it's gonna
Drake,
happen,
40,
though,
and
with
Boy
Pre,
Wonder.
though. It's gonna happen with Pre, man, because
I
that
hope
Jackie
so.
Chan record, one of the biggest records of the year.
Yeah,
Every time you play Jackie Chan, people lose their shit.
yeah. Well, that's the Post Malone one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's which one? The
Tiesto,
Tiesto
yeah.
version. Yeah,
yeah, it's fucking nuts,
yeah.
and that's a good look for him.
Yeah. Right? So we'll see what happens,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean OVO in theory they could blow like that, but they have to start creating more stars. I think
Yeah.
if they initially didn't fuck up the whole OVXO thing, OXVO,
Yeah, that
whatever,
would've been huge.
then exactly that would have been huge for OVO in a way where it would have just been like, holy fuck, because Belly probably would have, same thing, would be more aligned with OVO and whatnot. And shout out to him, man. He's had a fucking phenomenal year.
His album's
Yeah.
hard.
Dude, like I don't think people understand that, and I remember Jay-Z saying this maybe about 5 years ago, mentioning Belly in his playlist, and then Jay-Z's playlist comes out this year and Belly's in there, and Belly signed to Rock Nation and whatnot. I don't think people understand like how far this guy has come in 15
Yeah.
fucking years to
And
be
he-
signed to Rock Nation and be
Yeah.
one of Jay-Z's favorite fucking rappers. Like he doesn't get the love in Canada he fucking deserves right now.
Nah.
He deserves a lot more credit right now, and he stepped his game up immensely, like fucking immensely.
Yeah, I
So,
wasn't a fan of the old Belly shit really.
man,
but
when I started
he
liking
could
him,
spit, but I didn't really like his like
I started
his
really
records
feeling
kinda-
him. He did a track called "A History of Violence,"
Yeah.
and that's where I was like, "Yo, what the fuck? This was dope." And from that point on, I was like, "Yo, this dude got it." I didn't really, the whole shit he was doing when he was fucking with what's his name, what was that guy's name, man? That he was fucking with originally.
Mazzari.
Mazzari,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I wasn't really fucking with that, and I think he might have been writing for Mazzari and whatnot at the time, or Mazzari, or it might have been his
They're part of
label.
the same label.
Was it Belly's label? And Mazzari was his artist,
I forgot the name of the label. Man.
right?
Cat. Fuck.
Something, man, something out of
Yeah,
if
it's out-
Dynamic was
yeah.
here, we could ask him.
Yeah.
There's
Whatever.
a funny story that from
But shout out Belly, man,
because
he's by the way,
Carlito
yeah,
on the Breaking Records YouTube page.
yeah,
Breaking Records Radio, you can check it out. And spelled before Belly and Massari really were like popping.
Yeah.
And he went to Ottawa one time
Yeah.
and they were following him around like all day.
oh shit,
Yeah, and then I guess like some of Massari's people like I don't know if I should be saying all this actually, so I just
yeah, maybe we might want to keep
But
that under
you
wraps,
got your
man.
memory.
it got back around that either way to Carlito that like Massari knew.
Yeah,
He's like he's seen it.
yeah.
So I'm like, yo, that's kinda crazy.
Word.
That was one of our first like feats in my opinion where like we struck someone's nerve like
Yeah.
without like everything and they'd listen to the fucking thing we did.
So
Oh,
whose nerve was
shit.
struck?
Well, we just struck Mercules' nerve.
I know, but who on the show? Who's
Shout out
whose
Mercules,
whose nerve did you strike with that? Was it Mazzari?
Mazzari's.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Well, fuck him.
Oh,
I don't mean like that. I mean like
Shit happens,
he
man.
got a dope time with Tory Lanez and shit. I think he dropped it this
That's
year.
another dude too, man. Like,
Yo,
I mean,
Tory
Tory's
Lanez,
getting that
big-
love too,
big
man.
push for Tory Lanez.
He needs to
Tory's
stop
getting that
fighting
love.
people,
Yeah,
man.
he does. What the fuck was up with that? And LV the other night, all I saw was just a lot of fat motherfuckers in boxer shorts in the video. But shout out
That
those dudes
sounds
that are
like
eating
a
healthy.
couple pauses.
Pod. No, I just watched the Instagram video, and I shouldn't even call them fat motherfuckers. All I saw was some slightly obese brethren you know, in the motherfucking video, showing their Yves Saint Laurent fucking boxer briefs or whatever, hanging out and scrapping in front of some Lambos and shit.
That's
And I was
pretty
wondering
weird.
what the fuck happened. I didn't see Tory Lanez in that
Sounds
video
like
at
a
all.
Puff
It sounds
Daddy
like
party.
Tory was fighting in it.
Yeah.
Yo, did you see the video of Nipsey Hussle fighting too? I saw
No,
a
I didn't
video of
see
that,
that
man.
either, man.
Yeah, Nipsey was fighting in the parking lot too, man. So
He
shout out
needs to chill
Nipsey throwing
too,
down.
but hey, y'all need to chill, but whatever.
When you got money, what the fuck you do? If you're a millionaire, why are you throwing down? I get it though. Image is everything, so you know.
You gotta show your
I
style.
think Leonardo DiCaprio should become a gangster rapper.
You think so?
Yeah,
What would his name be?
DiCaprio.
DeCap the hoe. DeCap your hoe?
He just like, you know, like
Just
how
Leo.
Chris Brown
Just
like
Leo.
spiraled out and like
Listen.
joined Bloods and shit.
If
Like,
Leonardo
Leo do
DiCaprio
that shit.
became a rapper, he just call himself Leo. Just motherfucking Leo.
You
That's
need
it.
to bring back Bud Bunny.
Hey yo, you heard that new Leo album? It's fucking fire.
Yo, he could be the like white Jay-Z.
Everybody would go and buy that
And
album.
like, imagine nobody knew it, but like, DiCaprio just had the hottest catalog and been recording music since like '93.
Apparently Shia LaBeouf is I've seen him
Yeah,
freestyle
Shia
with some
LaBeouf is hard, yo.
he's pretty
He's
fucking
sick with it.
dope.
Yeah, he's sick with it.
Yeah.
I'd battle shit.
That would be a fucking good battle of white rappers. I want to see that. I want to see MLNY versus Shia LaBeouf. We'll call it the fucking, I don't know what the fuck we'll call it, but yeah, that'll be the battle of like,
The Battle of Jew Froze.
exactly. You got to grow your hair back in. You got to do that shit because
Yeah.
you got a dope fucking, you got a crazy fro. Surprise the shit out of me.
Noise for Malone's Jew Froze.
Yeah. And you're not even Jewish, are you?
No, fuck no.
You got a sick Jew fro,
I grow
bro.
a mean fro. though.
Yeah, you and Shia, you guys need to
Make some
fucking
noise for growing a mean
Yeah.
fro. White boy.
Cultural appropriation.
I honestly, I thought that shit was a fucking wig, bro.
I'm appropriate.
In that picture, I swore
Naturally
you
doing
were
it.
wearing a fucking wig.
Natural
I swear that's a
appropriation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Natural
help it.
appropriation.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's yeah.
Hey.
I like it. I like it. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Maloney's
They
fro.
tried to get Beyonce on that the other day. I'm sure she was doing a show in India for this princess. She
Yeah.
sounded like an Indian chick
Yeah.
for the event. Oh, she's culturally appropriating.
No, that's what she's
Ah.
supposed to dress up as for this event.
How many
Shut
people
the fuck
dress
up.
up as like in saris when it's a wedding
Exactly.
that are not Indian?
Right?
Come on, stop the nonsense.
No, absolutely. You know what I mean? And to say that too, it's like they don't know Beyonce don't have any Hindu in her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Black people I know that got like actual Indian in them one generation prior. You know what I mean? It's not easy to tell if a black person has an Indian mother and be like, you know, unless they have like the
Yeah.
hair.
Did you guys know
Sometimes
that?
you don't really fucking know. You be like, oh shit, where you got Indian? I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh, you Hindu? Shit, I didn't even know, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you from the island, you from Trinidad, you from Guyana.
Yeah.
It's very easy to have some of that Indian
Yeah.
and not even look like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I
Oh,
found
shit.
out that I was actually 85% Haitian recently.
There you fucking go. I believe it.
Crazy.
There you go, man. Suck
I
my
don't
say
know
all
where
day,
that
bro.
came from, you know
That's
what
what's
I'm
up,
saying?
man. Shout out to the Haitians, man. I believe that
So you
shit.
rocking to ZZ hard.
Yeah.
Me and Wyclef are actually third cousins.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, bro. I like it, man. I like it.
Pretty cool.
So you're
man.
Fuji,
Pretty
eh?
Cool, yeah. I wouldn't go
Refugee
that far. I'm
All-Star.
not a Fuji, but,
Okay.
you know,
You might be able to get Praz on one of those tracks, bro.
yo,
He's
make
in
Everybody
trouble
wants
too.
that Praz feature.
Bron's in trouble too right
Yeah,
now.
for some tax. No,
Yeah.
for
I don't want to say
something
anything
over
bad
in
about
Cambodia or something,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, some
Some
kind of
embezzling
scam
shit,
shit.
man.
He's like,
Fuck.
oh, they're doing it to me because I'm black.
No, they doing it to you because
So
you
you
got
fucked up.
scammed by somebody, and they're like, "Hey, you want to get in on this fucking investment? Hell yeah!" Same thing happened to fucking Floyd
kinda
Mayweather
crazy.
and DJ Khaled with the currency, man, with the cryptocurrency scam or some shit. They got to pay a huge fine. So everyone out here is just trying to fucking get that money and whatever, man. It's that hustle. It's that grind. It's Christmas time. You know what I mean?
Yo, was Freaky Todd the hypest hype man of all time?
Woo! He's up there.
We
Definitely.
were having this debate yesterday in the
Him,
car.
Split Star.
That's actually what Cheza said.
Ooh. Who else
I
is
said
good?
Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav, yeah. Lil C's.
I gotta
Come
think
on.
about this
Oh,
one.
man, come on.
Sis?
Yo, listen, just because C's was a youngin', C's was doing his fucking job, bruh. Lloyd Banks,
Memphis Bleak's a better hype
Lloyd
man than
Banks.
fucking Lil C's.
Where's he at anyways, man? Where Bleak at?
Bleak's fucking living
I like
comfortably.
He's running some companies and shit under
Yeah.
Rock Nation and shit now. Didn't he sign Casanova?
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I think he's got.
Everybody getting shot! Boom, boom, boom!
I know he got his own
I even wanna shoot
subsidiary or his
someone,
own.
Yeah,
label.
that's it, man.
I'm like, shit.
I had to turn that.
Wait,
album
is my watch on? Oh, wait, I only got watch.
I
Oh,
turned that
fuck.
album off. I'm like, this makes me want to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, Casanova.
Oh
Make
fuck.
some noise for Casanova.
Yeah.
The new murder music, you know what I'm saying?
I need a fucking drink.
It's like records to blow out brains too. Casanova.
Let me grab a drink real quick. Casa
Yeah.
motherfucking Nova.
Like, who
Hey,
makes
man,
you
I
want
hope
to
he stays
blow
out of
someone's
jail.
brains out more? MOP or Casanova?
I think both. I think both.
Yeah, equally.
Casanova maybe even more.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because he's just more hype.
Yeah.
And not as lyrical. Like Lil Fame's like got bars.
Yeah.
Lil Fame can spit.
Yeah, and they're kind of like real smooth. They yell, but they don't meet Mill yell.
Yeah, yeah. That's the way,
Yo,
like,
Mill's album was dope.
Casanova,
Yeah.
literally every track you hear, it sounds like he is yelling in your ear,
Yeah.
trying to take something from you.
Well, because that's a sign that this guy hasn't been rapping his whole life and hasn't been using the mic his whole life. And at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
I
I
used-
fuck with it. If Cass ever, like, if I ever heard a smooth verse where he's like, yeah, it's
Could it
trash,
just be a
I'd be
Brooklyn
like,
thing?
yo, this is trash.
Cause
Yeah.
it be, think about it, cause 6ix9ine he screams too. He's from Brooklyn.
yeah.
Busta Rhymes was yelling for the longest time.
That's
He's from
true,
Brooklyn.
that's true. I love
Yeah.
Casanova
Old Dirty
because of
Bastard,
yelling
Brooklyn.
style.
Like, I guess that's a Brooklyn thing.
But Master Ace doesn't yell. Biggie used to scream.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what? Now that you said that, you're actually right. I heard that. Well,
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was watching, but they were talking about like Biggie. It might have been Clark Kent or someone, but
Yeah.
like they're like talking about like Biggie like back in the day, and they're like he used to have that Brooklyn style. Like
Mm.
a lot of dudes from Brooklyn yelled when they rapped. Like they were very
Yeah.
aggressive.
I know,
It was
but-
like Biggie had that style,
Yeah.
but Puff made him smooth it out.
Yeah.
No, because you know what it is. It's okay. So when
That's
you start
crazy.
rhyming on the mic, right? There's a difference between when you're like freestyling and when you're trying to like, you know, spit something out a particular way. But what happens is, especially when you're not accustomed to the headphones and being in the mic a particular way, is projection. And when you're not, you know what I'm saying, like you're not out on the street smoking with your boys, so you just have that naturalness, that vibe, that in the flow moment. So when you're trying to get out a certain way, you're like, fuck, I'm just gonna push and just yell or whatever, you know. And these guys are still doing it from like their throat.
Yeah, but it's a
not doing it from their
Brooklyn
chest.
thing though.
Kind of
because,
is, but look at
rappers,
Jay.
like
Jay's still
Mobb
smooth
Deep
as
weren't
fuck.
yelling on their first records. You know, like a lot
No, I
of people
feel
from
you.
other places weren't doing that.
Hey, DMX was.
And people even say like it was
DMX,
fucking-
Yeah, he's from the
but
Bronx,
that was
right?
his style.
Yeah.
That was his style.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Not too many from the
Tech-9?
people from the Bronx.
Not
yeah.
Tech-9 fucking, was it?
Nine?
Nine?
He never yelled.
No,
He
he
just
was
had a
smooth.
he just had a really
I get
raspy
splendid,
voice.
I get splendid if I don't. So sometimes I will and sometimes I
Hey, yo,
won't.
isn't Blend putting coke in your shit?
Yo, shout outs to Blem.
I mean, that's what it meant back then, though. That's not what it means now, though.
I don't know, maybe-
Now it just means like good smoke, but back then I think it meant like putting, you know, like getting zooted. Putting
Like, how much
fucking,
weed
you know?
do we really think Drake smokes? Can we ask this question? Because you're
right.
giving out free smoke, you're blemming, you're always like, you know what I mean? Like,
Do we think Drake smokes
I don't
weed?
even like know if he smokes weed. Like,
Do
he
you
doesn't
think,
strike
do you
me
think
as
he's got like a pound in his fucking house that he
He
doesn't even
strikes
touch
me as
this
a
off for
dude
his
like who
people?
will smoke it with you. Like he'll take a couple puffs and be like, yeah, yo, I'm good on that, homie. You know what I mean? But like,
I bet
he's
you
like
don't even
high.
inhale.
He's high.
You
He's
think
sitting
he
there,
knows?
he's like, yeah, that verse, I'll get you that. I'll send that in the day of the album release. Don't worry about that. He's like there to record the verse. He just like,
Nah, I
yo,
think
we
he
gonna
got-
play Fortnite.
Yo, I think I
That's
don't.
probably why he's so into Fortnite, because he's like all the dudes he's hanging out with are
Yeah.
really about that getting high life, and he's like, alright, I take like one hit here, I'm fucked.
I don't even think he has
Little
time
bump
to
of
do any of
coke?
that shit.
Oh shit.
To be honest with you,
Yo, Kanye, check my new album.
you think Drake does coke? I wouldn't be
I
surprised
don't know,
if he
maybe
doesn't do
that's why
anything
he
but
spilled the
drink.
beans to Kanye. If Kanye is doing coke like you think, yo, like, yo, Drizzy, take a bump. Ah, fuck.
But again,
Alright, I'll do one bump with you, Kanye, for old time's sake.
Did he
Nah.
spill the beans or did he was just having a moment with Kanye? I remember Push said you didn't get the info from him.
Mm.
And the thing is, why hasn't that whole situation been like? So after that info came out, we heard nothing about it again.
Mm.
The OVO camp didn't go crazy. No
Because they don't want that.
explanations.
Because they don't want, you know,
It's
what I'm saying? Like,
crazy.
they want
It's
to
just-
OVO is
shit,
about
man.
like controlling like what is
Absolutely.
Yeah, the
and that's why.
narrative,
That's
the
why.
narrative.
That's why, you know, what I'm saying, like to this day, have we ever heard of Drake being drunk or fucked up in public?
Nah.
See, I think he's very, very controlled with his image. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, if he's got handlers that are always around him that you don't even fucking know about, that, like, you know what I'm saying? They'll be at the bar, like, yo, when Drake comes here and he buys 4 fucking drinks, whatever, and he's buying Hennessy, whatever, or he's buying shots of vodka, you make sure he gets a shot that's water. You understand what I'm saying? So when he buys 20 rounds for everybody, he's doing shots of water where everyone's doing shots
do
of
you
vodka.
really think it's like that with Drake? Like Drake walks around in a bubble without knowing it?
No, he knows
like,
it. You
running
just
out,
don't know it.
Like
He knows it. You don't know.
no, like maybe he really thinks when he's at the hookah spot, like he's like chugging the 26er. Meanwhile, it's like, but it's been so long since he's actually had a real shot of vodka.
I mean, he might have like one or two or
That he's
whatnot,
like,
but listen.
it's like 3/4 water. And he's like, yeah,
I had-
down
I-
a whole bottle
one
of
of-
Ghost.
one of the guys like who, you know what I'm saying, is like basically my
Vodka sitting
neighbor.
in the background, like, yeah.
Yeah. No, I had a dude.
Okay.
I had a dude, my boy Foots, who, you know, basically like he was Drake's driver when Drake first started doing this shit. He was like the turtle of Drake's crew. And
Turtle?
he was, you know, if you ever watch Entourage.
Oh no.
Okay, well in Entourage, the main
I don't
character.
watch shit.
Okay, well in Entourage, a dope show on HBO, and the main character had a friend named Turtle who was his driver, driving around everywhere, right? So my boy
Was he a slow
Foots.
driver?
No, he just whatever. He was just whatever.
Did he have shells?
No, that was just his name. He smoked fucking weed. He was like the most relatable character to someone like us on the fucking
Okay,
show.
cool. Yo, shout
So-
out to Turtle.
Yeah.
You got 3 turtles in the room right now.
Yeah, okay. But
I'm
my point
Michelangelo.
being, okay, well, all right,
You could
cool,
be
Michelangelo.
Donatello.
No, I'm Raphael.
Alright.
He could be Leonardo because he's got blue on already. But anyways, so
Hey, make some noise.
so back to the fucking story. I had a boy who basically used to drive for Drake, and he wound up crashing Drake's whip, and there was a couple, chicks in the fucking whip. It was
Is that
like
when he
his,
got fired?
yeah, so he got fired, he got dropped from the job, right? And it's like, yo, he had to because at that point he had fucked up so bad where it's like, yo, homie, like this could have led to a huge lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? You had a couple drinks and he crashes.
Oh,
fucking,
he was loose on the goose.
right. You know what I mean? So this guy went from like basically like touring the world with this guy to, like you got dropped because whatever. So Drake can't really have that shit around him, man. Like he is very isolated. We're talking about someone who at this point is probably worth close to $500 million fucking dollars, at least on paper, not necessarily, liquid, but on paper. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are eating off of this guy's name.
I wonder if anyone has
Yeah,
a
his
life
mom.
insurance policy on
His
Drake.
mom. Come on,
Anyone
come on.
else?
His
Because
mom.
corporations, like when you like start working for like
Yeah.
Walmart, they can take a life insurance
I'm
policy
sure-
out on you.
I'm sure Sylvia
The question
and
I
Ronan
don't
or
know, like,
whoever.
how long
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
lasts. What if they have that on you your whole life? A life insurance policy.
No, I think your label
It's
will
like
probably have it on
Shoppers
for
Drug Mart's making $80 million if Drake dies. You know what I mean?
No. I think if anything, it's either
They're
going to be a
sending out hitmen.
situation.
They're like, yo, we gotta get this Drake guy. This is $80 million profit
Nah.
for us.
It's a
Shoppers Drug Mart
situation.
killing you is crazy.
It's a situation where your label is probably going to have life insurance. I don't even know. I don't know if a label can do that
Like,
because
you think Birdman has a life insurance policy? Like, that's a scary thought.
well,
Imagine
that's the thing though.
being signed to Birdman and it's like, I know he has a life insurance policy. on
Yeah.
him. All right, I'll kiss you in the mouth, Brian.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
Yo,
fuck.
Wayne is maybe like one of the worst abuse victims of all time.
Yeah, probably.
think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Baby had a life insurance policy on him.
But in
And
order
you don't want to
for
fuck with
I
Baby
don't-
really
like,
either. So
I was going to say that maybe
you're
the
like,
label
"Huh, this
could,
is an
but
awkward situation.
we'd have to really look into that because that I don't think like an employer can take out life insurance on
They-
one of their employees.
They can.
They can take out insurance maybe as a business that to the bank that if something happens
It's
to one of
as
their
a
employees,
business.
they'll get compensated
Cash
from the
Money
bank or
probably had
whatever,
life
but
insurance
not
policy.
from
Baby don't
from
pay
the
no one.
person's
Cash Money is
family.
Brian's bank.
Fuck, you might be right, man.
Like
I don't
Cash
know.
Money is Brian. Well,
I don't
and
know.
Slim, but
Shit.
nobody gets to see Slim.
That's a good fucking question. We need to
Slim-
look into that. Who did Sony have life insurance on Michael Jackson?
Mm.
Or did it
Oh
just
my
stand to get
God.
or
Did we really just get to the shits?
or here's the other or though. Was it just the Beatles catalog that they were after? Because remember,
Oh,
both?
Apple Music has the Beatles catalog now, right? But who had that catalog before?
And Shizzy.
So it's the fuck it is.
Do you think when he wrote "Leave Me Alone," he's like, it was like, you know how like Pac had people attempting on his life from his first album,
Yeah.
like in mad shootouts and shit like that. So
Yeah.
he was always like ready for death. Do you think that was like just "Leave Me Alone"? Like there's some like CIA tactic type motherfuckers after MJ. He's like, "What's so fun? Leave me alone.
Just leave me alone."
And then that's why he got weird from that point forward, and is like,
Well, he's
you know,
been weird for a minute.
Yeah, but his album slowly got like more depressing and like
Yeah.
and like secluded and like weird and not as good and like less upbeat album per album after that.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that was like he's like, damn, someone's trying to kill me? And he just had to duck and dodge it. They're like, all right.
No, I think
he's like
he was
Fidel
just-
Castro. It's like they tried to kill him like 25 times. Like, oh, we'll slip it in this water. And he's like,
No,
"I
they
don't feel like water,
they
you
tried to
know,
kill
Carlos?"
Castro almost
And
1,000
fucking
fucking
drank orange
times, bro.
juice instead.
They tried to kill Castro almost 1,000 times.
Yeah, so like
man,
maybe
man.
Sony tried to kill Michael Jackson 1,000 times.
Nah.
And then they had to do these stupid
Nah.
abuse cases to tarnish his image, and he just kept
Nah.
popping. They're like, all right, this is it. Yeah, you're right. This is it.
Nah,
We're
nah,
getting
nah.
you this time.
Nah, listen.
Tony
listen.
Mottola's coming down directly with a pistol.
They're not. They're not gonna do something like that. Like first, Michael signed to CBS.
It's like
so,
when The Godfather
yeah.
has to come, you're like, you know you're fucked.
But then CBS
Michael signed to CBS and Motown, and Michael's a money printing machine. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, you can't kill your money printing machine regardless because you're still a kid. You
I don't
don't have
know,
that
Tupac
output
made
yet.
more money for Death Row
Yeah,
after
but
death.
Tupac's a different motherfucker, and he had time to establish himself. And we're talking about a different era. You know what I'm saying?
But the
Tupac
whole
didn't start as a
thing is-
kid. You know, by the end, maybe. But we're also talking about someone who's generating so much money on worldwide tours that it's like, okay, yeah, we could kill him and we're gonna get this off his record sales.
I don't think the
but
labels really had their hand in the pockets of the tours.
fuck yeah,
back
they
then
did.
Like that.
Fuck yeah, they did. Because anytime
That's
he
like a
toured,
360 deal shit
anytime
thing,
he
yeah.
toured,
Michael
there-
Jackson had clout once he signed to
Listen,
fucking.
anytime Michael Jackson toured, his record album sales went up through the fucking roof for all his old products. So that's
That's
guaranteed
true, that's true.
sales for them. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Plus royalties for the fact that his music's even getting fucking played. Plus if he's got a new album, he's selling merchandise for that album. You know what I mean? He's going to somewhere like fucking Bucharest and fucking grown men are passing out crying, Michael, I'll spend $1,000 on you, passing out and shit. You know what I mean? So they're giving up all that future revenue for a gamble.
Well, you know
yeah,
what? I think they
yeah.
probably made more money off him dead.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Man,
it's-
84.
unfortunately though, like even with the X passing and even Matt Miller, like Matt Miller is literally he's fucking nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yes,
Like-
yes and no. But here's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
they might have got
Some
100
people-
million. They might have got 100 million
Some,
streams
yeah.
the day he fucking died.
Yeah.
But they did not get 84 million album sales.
Of course not. Of course not.
Like, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
so,
course. It's relative to the artist too, right?
Right.
Yo, can we just make some noise for Michael Jackson being the nastiest motherfucker alive for buying the Beatles catalog and then covering Come Together?
No, he did not. When
Yeah, he did.
When did
He
you
did?
come
You never heard
together?
Come Together?
No, I did not.
Yes,
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he
It's
did.
fire cover too.
Yes,
That
he
is the only
did.
context
Fuck.
to that song.
Yes.
Isn't that the
Yes, he
nastiest
did.
shit in the world?
He probably
Hey,
didn't.
Paul, I'll help you.
No, he didn't know. He probably didn't know. He didn't know what happened.
Behind his back. That's why they had beef, because Paul asked him to lend him money or like to help
No,
buy his music.
Paul told him about owning your own publishing and how
Yeah, then he
how
went
you can
and bought
empower
the
yourself.
Beatles catalog.
Right, and he went out a few days later. He's like, "Hey, I bought the catalog." And he called Paul. He's like, "Hey, Paul, I bought the catalog." And Paul's like, "Yo, what the fuck? You bought my catalog, bro? You can't do that shit. You should buy your own catalog, not mine."
Do you
What the
think he was
fuck?
happy when MJ died?
No,
I'm just saying because of their altercation. I never really heard anything about him.
because I don't
about
think the
that.
catalog went back. No, I doubt it, man.
He must have been like, fucking asshole.
Probably not.
Well,
I mean, yeah,
Michael
probably
Jackson
not.
probably had so much debt on his estate after he died, so like a lot of shit like that probably went to.
Yeah, that's why he was doing that tour, because he had debt.
It was bad.
It's not like he would have ever went like poor or broke or whatever, but it's just, I guess he was living
He wanted
a
to
little bit
maintain
beyond
his
his money.
life.
Yeah,
He
you know
didn't
what I
wanna
mean. And
gamble.
Neverland was costing some money because he didn't have something,
Bad
you know,
money.
something like that or whatever,
And
right?
court is a lot of money too. So
Yeah.
Neverland was costing a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure, man. You gotta fucking like, you have basically a carnival inside of your
Like
estate
whatever
without
it
people
costs
coming to
run
pay
this
and use the carnival.
You have to have like, you should already know, like as a grown man, like I need an equal amount
Yeah.
in court money.
You know what always fucked in my head? Did you guys ever watch Richie Rich as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
don't
so you remember?
it.
So yo, this motherfucker had a full working McDonald's inside of his mansion, right? You go
Yeah.
in and it was like a regular McDonald's. I'm like, yo, what do you do with all the food that no one came in there? Because you just go in and like they had shit, you know, what I mean,
Yeah.
cooking or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're just sitting there throwing away pure food, running a McDonald's inside of your fucking mansion. Like,
Just so there's always something fresh,
Yeah.
like in case Richie comes in,
Yeah.
you have to be in the middle of grilling a burger.
yeah, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
You
shut
should
up,
have turned
Macaulay
Neverland
Culkin.
into an amusement park, man.
Right.
That would have been a big move, man.
Right, but I don't
That's
think
like
he wanted people to
Disneyland
pay.
and shit.
No, they should turn it into fucking Graceland. But you know
Yeah.
what? I think it was probably just a little too creepy. You know what I'm saying? Not just
Yeah,
creepy,
of course.
but you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Like,
like, even if you believe MJ
Yeah.
innocence, like, am I taking my 4-year-old daughter to Neverland? Probably not.
and you know what I mean? Like, at the same time,
It's like taking her to Catholic church. Like, I think.
Well, they
Yeah,
still bring their
one.
kids to Disneyland, and those motherfuckers are a bunch of creeps.
Is there a lot of creeps at Disneyland?
Not added, but the whole
Like,
thing.
am I gonna have to punch Goofy in his nose if I have to
No,
take
what
my
I'm
kid
saying
there?
is like some of the messages.
Goofy, you better
they
not
have
get
behind
goofy,
a lot
Yeah,
of the
I'll break that
cartoons.
fucking nose.
There's a lot of so-called subliminal messages in the cartoons.
Yes,
So they've been
there
on some
are.
bullshit.
There
They've been
are.
on some
If you go
bullshit.
back and you watch the old Disney
Was Walt
cartoons,
Disney a pervert?
no, but the animators put
They
in
were
a lot.
perverts?
Not necessarily all perverts, but they put in some weird subliminal shit that sometimes is a little perverse. Sometimes another one. Like they have an eye test. There's a Donald Duck cartoon where there's an eye test, and if you look back at the letters in the eye test, what the letters spell out is Illuminati. It starts with the I, then
Get
it's
the
like,
fuck outta
I'm
here.
not fucking lying to you. I'm not lying. There's an eye test in the chart. It's like spelled Illuminati or whatever on the fucking eye chart right
That's
behind Donald
crazy.
Duck. There's the Rescuers. So it's like a
Yo,
movie
shout
about.
outs to Donald Duck, dude, being the first Illuminati when Lamont sold him a body.
Hey, there's the Tom and Jerry movie. If you go back and watch the Tom and Jerry movie from the 90s, you can YouTube this scene. People are like, yo, this is one a real fucked up scene. So Tom and Jerry are trying to pitch a movie to a Hollywood exec. Don't ask me how to fuck a cat and a mouse are trying to pitch a movie to a
Yo,
Hollywood
shout
exec.
outs to them and Ren and Stimpy.
All right, so let me finish. So the movie exec, what he does is he's sitting there, or they leave or whatever, and he's sitting there and he's like, I don't know about this idea, and he has like this pyramid that's on a table, a golden pyramid. The pyramid starts shaking, and all of a sudden this fucking cloud comes on. He's like, oh, I hate it when the pyramid does this, and then the cloud starts talking like, yes, this is the movie that we should make, and it's supposed to be like the fucking devil or whatever. You know what I mean? It's supposed to say like, yeah, it's like Illuminati type bullshit, pyramid, all-seeing eye or whatever, because that's basically what it was in the fucking cartoon movie. So there's a
Wow.
lot of like stuff like that. The Rescuers is another one where it's like these two cats,
So these
and
old
they're
cartoons are the original Alex Jones.
kind
Yeah,
of,
basically, man.
sort of.
The
There's-
original Zeitgeist.
no, they just, the animators are just bored and they throw shit in there. They don't think anyone's gonna catch it. Like again, the Rescuers, because things happen, like they're falling in a scene and they're going by a window. But because cartoons move at like 24 frames per minute, they added 2 frames to this one scene as they're falling past a window where it was actually
A
new
naked
tits.
girl. Yeah, I seen that. I've
Right.
seen
So the only way you would actually see that is if you paused it at the right time
Yeah.
in the movie. But eventually, someone was able to find this in this like 1979 Disney cartoon. They're like, yo, what the fuck is this? Right?
Imagine the first person who caught that.
that. Yo,
Right.
And what they thought, and they're like,
They should be a
yeah.
millionaire.
Yeah,
there's
just for
other
that- for
ones,
that
man. There's
discovery,
the
man.
Lion King. There's Lion King at one point in time when Simba is now like older and he's crushing over, which is funny. He's crushing over his sister Nala, by the way. Remember, his dad is the father of all the fucking other cubs, right?
Yeah, but animals are all about incest.
Kind
and
of, but whatever. We'll skip to that
shit. The
point.
cat
So
I have
they're
right
older.
now was impregnated by her brother.
Okay, but they're older, whatever. And I guess
Hey,
Simba's
it's what
going
it is.
through.
Royal family shit.
Simba's
Yeah.
going through a little like sexual frustration. He's lying there. He goes like, "Grr," and he drops his paw or whatever, and some dust.
Oh,
comes
yeah,
up.
it says, like,
it says
fuck
sex.
me
No,
or
it says
something. Yeah,
sex.
sex.
It's like the way the dust is sitting there. It's
Yeah.
like I'm like, yo, it says fucking sex. I
And like the
remember.
Little Mermaid, like the candlestick
Yes.
is a boner.
No. The Little Mermaid. I have the VHS, and on the side of the VHS, the castle, one of the pillars of the castle looks exactly like a dick. That's actually circumcised. Like there's actually the line in the groove. I'm like, this looks like a circumcised dick fucking head. So there's that.
And then
There's
there's pause after that, eh?
there's Beauty and the Beast, where I guess the priest is marrying them at the end, and he has like, if you again same thing. If you look, you're like, the priest has a fucking boner. So there's a lot of fucked up shit that Disney does.
Yo, to
Toy
put
Story.
a priest with a boner in a Disney movie is
Toy Story.
Man,
Do you remember Toy Story?
that's like potentially like I'm not even making-
Neverland amusement park
Right.
coming
So
soon.
do you remember Toy Story? Have you watched Toy Story?
Yeah.
Okay, now think about in Toy Story when they're at Sid's house.
Well, thing's name is Woody first of all.
Okay, but when they're at Sid's house, the wallpaper in Sid's house,
Oh man,
it was a fucking weed plant, but it was 5-pronged instead of 7.
it's hemp.
Okay, so why the fuck do they have hemp wallpaper in a fucking Toy Story movie? And I noticed that 20 years ago when that movie came out.
Maybe they're about that hemp life. Like,
Maybe they were.
they're
That's what I'm saying. It's the animators. The animators are bored. They're just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. It's the
It'd been
animators.
cooler if it was like a heroin needles.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine wallpaper that was a pattern of heroin?
Of heroin needles? Heroin needle fucking wallpaper? You're
Yeah, it's
crazy,
kind of
bro.
a fire wallpaper.
That sounds like
Yo.
that sounds like the Damn Force special.
Let's copyright that right now once again too. You know what I mean? We don't want Joe Rogan making the fucking
The meth wallpaper? Meth
Yeah.
don't wallpaper.
Yo, that's crazy. You could do like Walter White shaped crystallized rocks
Right.
as a wallpaper, and they could all just connect with each other like puzzle
Heisenberg?
pieces. Yeah.
And the Heisenberg wallpaper.
Yo, that's kind of fire right there.
Yeah, man, it sounds like the Damn Force special.
Let's lick a shot for the
The Heisenberg.
Heisenberg.
2
Yeah.
dubs. Walter White. I love that show,
2
man.
dubs.
I love. Have you
Wow.
ever watched? Because you said you don't watch shit. So have you ever watched Breaking Bad?
Movie wise or what?
TV.
Nah, man. When did it come out?
Yo, It's
Yeah,
crazy.
last
Okay.
time I really watched TV is like 2003.
Okay, so here's what we got to do, because you said you didn't watch it, and I'm actually surprised. You have to, like, I'll put it on a USB for you.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got to watch Chappelle's Show first and foremost. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to watch every
Is
episode
it
of
better
Chappelle's
than
Show.
In Living Color?
Yeah.
Is it
Context-
really, really,
Chappelle
really?
Show's
Yes,
hilarious.
because
Is it better than In Living Color?
yeah, because it's
Better be.
uncensored. Because it's
I think the best
uncensored,
thing
and
to
because
ever
they crossed they
Yeah.
crossed the line. In Living Color towed the line.
Yeah.
Chappelle's Show crossed the
What?
fucking line, spit in your face, and
Yeah.
went back behind the line and said, "Yeah, motherfucker, you can't
Yeah.
touch me because I'm behind the line."
Yeah.
Like that's how good Chappelle's Show
Yeah,
is.
the
I
thing
think
is-
when Keeping It Real goes wrong, maybe some
Oh,
of the best
fuck.
scripted comedy
Oh
I've
shit,
ever
yes.
seen in my life.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
that
I'll
shit
watch
is
it.
so funny.
I'll watch it and I'll
Ain't
compare
nobody
it.
play on my phone.
Like,
That
man,
shit's fucked
just
up.
the concept of when Keeping It Real goes
Yeah.
wrong is so funny.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
kept it so real, he had to go to Africa.
And then
You
there's
think he
new
lost
ones
his
like-
motherfucking mind?
No, but that's the thing he did, man.
Yeah,
he did.
that's
He was like,
crazy.
he realized, because you know he was doing the show, and I guess it got such good ratings or whatever, and he I guess had a breaking point or whatnot. And in the third season, halfway through it, he was just like, yo, they were asking me to do shit that I didn't want to do, and I realized like it's either take the money and be a yes man or get the fuck out while I can, and he just left. You know what I'm saying? And I applaud him for that. I applaud him for being able to say, look, $50 million is $50 million, but at the end of the day, you can't buy me.
And he
Yeah.
smokes a hell of a lot of cigarettes. So
He
maybe
does
that's
now.
Chappelle.
He didn't used to smoke that. He didn't used to smoke cigarettes like that before, man.
Yeah.
He used to smoke weed. Like I don't even know if he smokes weed like that anymore. But
Sony trying to send Tony Mottola at you with a fucking pistol will fuck you up.
what the fuck he talking about? What does Tommy Mottola have to do with Dave
Yo, these
Chappelle?
companies, man, all of them, the chairman, it like gets to a point where they try to kill you enough if you
Tommy
don't play, and they're like, all right, send the CEO down. Like, just haven't been like pointing guns on people. You know what I mean?
You know,
like,
Shay Shay Lagos is
oh,
about
you're not
Tommy.
gonna do what we
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
It's the same Tommy Mottola and Shay Shay Lagos that Ghostface is talking about, right?
No.
Yeah. He left his lady 2 months ago. That was yeah. That was.
Yeah.
some
And he was
song.
signed to Sony too.
Yeah.
Epic. Epic is Sony. So.
So
So it's funny that he put that out and said it was almost an ode to the dude.
Yeah.
yeah, and I guess you're talking about pre Mariah Carey fucking days. Shout out Tommy Mottola. He must have some bad fucking women. Damn.
I mean, Harvey Weinstein had some bad fucking women.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that cast and couch ass motherfucker.
But he got off of that, right?
No, he got off
Really?
on one of them on a
Yeah.
technicality
Yeah.
for one particular thing.
He's got
He still
something else in the works.
Yeah, we'll see what the fuck happens, man. Like he
He's
got
been moving like
money.
a ghost with all
I'm
that
just still
shit.
waiting.
He's
for
got a
rapper
few
to come
things
out
going
nice
for him
time.
that Bill Cosby didn't have, and that mainly is skin color, to be honest with you. So, unfortunately, wrong decade for Bill Cosby. And
It's like
you know,
the
Bill Cosby
racial
fucked up,
trade-off
so-
on the Chappelle show, though. Like, yo,
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
speaking for white people. We don't claim him.
Who?
What? Weinstein, he can go find another race to be a part of.
He's Jewish.
Yeah.
But that's the thing,
He's
like,
Jewish.
Hey, you can be Jewish then. You're not white.
yeah.
Get
I mean,
the fuck
are-
out of here.
Well, I guess
Wow.
they are because
Trading him.
they're yeah, white people. I mean, there are some Jewish who are white
Who
people.
are
Because Jews
we
are race, not
who are we
not
trading
a
for
group of people.
Weinstein?
Man, well, I mean,
Guys
who
can
are
have
we
Kanye.
treating? Like, who?
Yeah.
Well, we don't want Weinstein, so
Yeah, but that's
we don't
the
want
trade.
Weinstein.
You're not always trading the best players.
No, we don't want
Sometimes you're
Weinstein. You
trading the worst
need, you need to
players.
talk to you need to talk to like the Spanish, like the Mexican, Latinos,
We
Hispanics.
trading.
Talk to the
I don't
Chinese.
know, man. Some
man.
people are not tradable.
I don't know. We don't want them. Don't talk to
Alright.
us.
So he
We can't do shit with Harvey.
he's unclaimable.
Yeah.
He's like a pair of boxers at the fucking lost box at the fucking airport. Like it's like ain't nobody coming back for these, but they don't want to throw them out. They
Ugh.
do come back.
What the fuck? They do not have a pair of boxers in the lost and found box at the airport. What the fuck?
Couldn't yo.
That's fucked up.
I
Yo,
think there's one pair somewhere
they
that's
have-
just been sitting there for
dude,
years.
they got
It's
the
like
they got the weed drop off
He
box.
might
Did
come
you hear
back
about that? They
Yeah,
got the,
yeah,
They got the weed
airports.
box at the airport for
Who
people
the
to
hell's gonna
like.
drop off their weed?
Yo, if you're gonna fly out
Can
of
you
here,
come back and get it?
no, but where you gonna leave it? Like if you're leaving and
Can
it's
you put it
like
in a locker or something?
they don't have no lockers at the airport.
Fuck them.
what's
You
the
can't
statute
store
of
fucking weed.
limitations?
For what?
Any crime that's not murder.
It depends.
7 years or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I think
What'd you
it's
do?
depending on the crime
7
too.
years?
What'd you do?
I don't know.
Don't throw yourself under the
I
bus here,
didn't
bro.
drop my
Don't
weed off
incriminate
in a
yourself.
box. Let's just put it that way.
No, people go to people are going to the airport now and going into the fucking
Yeah, I
boxes to
would
grab some
too.
weed and fuck off and go home.
Yeah,
Fuck
why
you
the fuck
leaving a
not?
bunch of weed over
The
there.
airport's like, this is not a free weed.
But that's if you went international.
You know what? You know what's happening? The airport workers are getting pissed because they're probably fucking divvying it up for themselves. They're like, yo, what the fuck? These guys are coming.
Yeah.
No, we gotta put a sign, man. This is our fucking weed.
Yo, that's
It's only for international flights, right? You can
If you're
Canada,
leaving,
you're
yeah.
good. Canada, you can do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
You can
You
fly
know
across
what?
the
I wonder
country with
that.
that.
I gotta fly somewhere in
I want
Canada.
to smoke
try to-
weed in an airplane.
No, they'll land that shit. They'll ground it. They'll fucking kick you out.
I'm
so
drinking hot at
fast.
the same time, drinking champagne on an airplane.
Who the fuck's that?
2 Chains.
Oh shit! Shout out 2 Chains, man. I like 2 Chains. Titty boy.
Yo, make some noise for Titty Boy.
Titty
What's
boy.
the name? Titty
Before
boy.
we wrap
How
up,
much
I
titties?
can give another untold Maloney story.
Okay.
Please do, because they
Okay.
all say I'm fucking
This
wild.
one's past the statute of limitations. It has to do with Titty Boy. So we went to Rock the Bells in New Jersey back in like 2013. And at this point, I was not as receptive to the new school hip hop and how it was changing. I wasn't so happy with it. So I'm like, yo, fucking people listen to that 2 Chains. Fucking Titty Boy changed his name and now people think this
2
guy's cool.
Chainz?
I'm
Yeah.
Fucking Titty Boy. You were the wackest dude in DTP. Like,
I was just gonna say DTP up in the.
Chingy might have been
house.
better than you. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen,
No, I'm just playing.
listen. Chingy fucking killed it on that one track. Off
Yo,
Chicken
no
Beer.
one was peeping for Titty Boy
Got
and
them
DTP.
guns.
You know what I mean?
That's not true at
I
all.
don't know. I had 20 and shit. Yeah.
Hey,
like,
Duffel Bag Boy was a fucking banger,
Yeah,
bro.
it was the
Duffel Bag
big
Boy.
tunes.
That's one of the fucking most instrumental tracks of Lil Wayne's rise. Was
Yeah, but
Duffel
that's
Bag
like
Boy.
players. So
Oh,
that's
like
like
a Duffel
yeah.
Bag Boy. Yo,
that's
Duffel
like-
Bag Boy is fucking crazy, bro.
that's
But
just like
proceed.
2009 though.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like
whatever.
that's just not even that like dated. I'm talking about like his real DTP days, like when he was the feature on the track. You know what I mean? Like
Hey, he was always
you're
doing
peeping
that.
for 4 Eyes before you're peeping for fucking 4 Eyes. Only got
Man,
one
Four-
verse of Loot album.
Exactly. 4 Eyes only showed up
Yeah,
on like the
but
fucking
you weren't
skits.
You weren't looking for Titty Boy. You're like, yo, 4 Eyes
No,
on here,
I'm
dope.
not, I'm not even gonna lie. Those 4 Eyes tracks were fucking flames. Like they were.
Yeah,
they
Four
were.
Eyes is crazy.
Him and Luda were just. They were.
They're so good together. They
Yeah.
both just say the funny
Yeah,
shit. And
the
like,
most fucked up shit. You're like, yo, what the fuck this
Yeah,
guy just
man.
fucking say? But Chicken and Beer is one of my favorite albums of all
it's
time.
a
I'm
fire
not
album.
gonna fucking
Luda
lie.
doesn't get the props he deserves.
No, his first 3 albums are bangers, and
No,
Chicken and
yeah.
Beer is my favorite Ludacris album. Like
Like,
back to front, that track,
I
fuck,
think
or that whole
Luda-
album bangs.
Like, and he popped off the South really in that time period before
Yeah.
anyone else. Like,
Yeah.
Well, you gotta figure he was a
'cause
fucking
like,
radio DJ.
He went to
So
like
as a radio
Neptunes
DJ,
and, you know what I mean, and Timbaland. Like, he went with
Yeah.
like a Midwest sound and fucking.
well, he's from
But
Chicago,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. That's where he's
Is
from.
he?
Yeah, he's from
Yeah.
Chicago before he transplanted to Atlanta. He transplanted to Atlanta as a
Oh,
teenager, but
okay.
also you got to figure this guy was Chris Lover. So he was a DJ, so he had an understanding of the game, you know, as a radio
But he was
DJ.
just like he broke through like in a smart way, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
fuck
he wasn't part of the trap movement per se, but
No.
he really like I think put the South on to where like T.I. and all these other guys could come out. Like I
Yeah.
don't think people really give Luda
T.I.
that
came up
props.
before
Yeah.
Luda though.
Yeah,
but he didn't
wasn't
come up with
popping.
that bang.
He came out with the track with Beanie Man though, his
but
first track.
It wasn't
Bonbon.
but it wasn't really a bang.
No.
bang.
I don't know, man. It
wasn't.
depends where you
I was-
from.
I was-
feel you.
I was
feel, 'cause I mean,
outside back then, and I didn't even know that song existed till later on.
I mean, Rubber Band Man is really
after
when
like
he started
after
like really
24s
going.
and after like what was the joint he did with fucking Bone Crusher and shit?
Oh, fucking Ain't Never Scared.
That's like where I
Yeah.
really first heard T.I.
But where
Yeah.
Luda came out with just Fantasy alone, that tore down the whole fucking
No,
thing.
I feel you. I
And
feel you
even
because
before that, with Selling Hospitality as the street single, like that
No,
was even like
But Fantasy came out before
Oh,
that,
yeah.
though. Fantasy came out
The
before
difference
that.
is-
Fat
Yeah.
Rabbit even was popping before
Yeah.
that.
Fat
on, like,
Rabbit was
Underground.
kind of like his first shit.
Yeah.
But the difference is
But
though,
still Timbaland.
Luda has a Luda doesn't have a super serious Southern accent.
No.
So
Yeah.
if you're from where we're from, you're saying like they call us East Coast, we're more Midwest to be completely honest with you. Like Toronto is
Yeah.
only 4 hours away from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? There's no ocean beside us
Yeah.
until you drive 8 hours south to New York.
Yeah.
We're more Midwest, but whatever. If you're from the East Coast, Midwest, whatever, you're gonna understand Luda. Even West Coast, you're gonna understand him more than let's say a T.I.
Yeah.
at first,
Yeah.
just because of his Southern draw and a lot of these Southern dudes. So he had the appeal of a lot of other guys. One. Two, he was coming out at a time when punchlines were fucking king.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Luda
and
has
his
some
punchlines
mean
were
punches.
right. Three, he's backed by, you know,
Who's
he's got the
winning
whole
in a
Def Jam
punchline
machine.
battle, Luda or Banks?
Banks.
I don't know. I think
Luda's more
Luda-
corny. And it's not bad. It suits his personality.
Yeah.
Banks just comes up with some shit where you're like, whoa, that's fucking that. Whoa, shit, that's smart. That's highly intelligent.
Run a train on it like a subway, Matt.
If you're just going like that, then you know what I'm saying. Luda has more personality and
Yeah.
more whatever in his voice. But again, if you were to
Luda
go
had-
back and look like punchline for
Banks had
punchline,
some
Banks.
stingers.
Yes, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But Luda is personality, and that's the thing. So personality, the Def Jam machine. You know what I mean? No, at that time, Def Jam was firing on all fucking
Luda
cylinders.
deserves a lot of props, man.
For sure he does,
Of
man.
course.
The fact that Def Jam just invested a shit ton of money into Def Jam self, and they made Scarface.
He's kind of
you know,
the lead of Def Jam, so.
right. So he was backed by a lot of machines, man. A lot of
is
things,
true.
you know. The
But
Pepsi.
the thing I was gonna actually say though, you want the story?
Yeah, get the fucking
Alright,
story.
so we're at
please.
Rock the Bells in New Jersey, and I see 2 Chainz getting interviewed. We're waiting in line to meet like Prodigy or like Jadakiss or something, right? And I don't know who he's getting interviewed by, but it might have been Complex or some shit like that. Yo, like, I'm really about to go in on these people. Not really, but like I just realized I could have potentially burned another bridge.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, who was interviewing him? Shit. Time for the story.
Yeah.
All right, so they're interviewing him. We're waiting in line. I'm just like, Titty Boy. Because he was 2 Chainz then, right? He was trying to do the rebrand. So I was like, nah, you ain't getting away with that rebrand. So we're like, standing in line, and then my other 3 homies I'm with, we all just started like, Titty Boy. And he got like so cheesed. Like,
Oh,
he said during the interview, and he kept looking over. He's like,
He's a fucking giant too.
oh, yeah. Like, I'm not, yeah.
He's a
I guess
big
we
guy.
wanted that smoke.
Apparently.
Now that I think back to what I was doing, I'm like, that probably wasn't the smartest idea, but like, I guess we wanted that smoke.
You're lucky he didn't have like 5 guys who were just fucking post up and you just kind of gave him that look and they just came up from behind you guys and started fucking you guys
He was
up.
not happy, but we just kept yelling Titty Boy.
No, that's what I'm saying. He could have had like people. He could have had like his crew
He's
just
fucking
fucking
up with
around.
shit,
You know
man.
what I mean? And they could have just seen that shit. And like, let's go fuck these guys up and just just fuck you guys up for the hell of it, man.
No, it didn't happen though.
I'm glad it didn't, but it could
But
have.
yeah, so we did that, and he was mad.
Yeah.
And then interviews with all the other artists from this like whatever platform it was, like released from that like event.
Yeah.
And the Titty Boy one never did.
You fucked up his
We
fucking
fucked up-
interview money,
we
man.
fucked up the 2 Chainz interview.
Ah, shit. Well, shout out to
so shout out
man.
to Titty Boy.
Yeah.
Get that interview.
You gotta get that
Yeah,
interview.
we'll get that interview, make it.
No,
You know,
boy, you get a tag. You won't get a
drunk and high
tag.
in the same time. Tag on the airplane.
Will he respond to the tag? We'll see. We'll see.
Yo, 2 Chainz is sick though.
Yeah, he
that's
got
why
some,
like I
yeah.
look back now, I'm like, huh. I could
That
have
was
done
kind
that
of
to
a
someone
dick.
better.
Yeah. Well,
like,
fuck, man.
Like he wasn't really.
He had a
on
string
the-
of hits though.
I mean,
No,
he took
2
it.
Chainz is kind of dope.
2 Chainz
Like, that's what I mean. Like I
man.
like 2 Chainz.
Birthday,
Back then, I
it's
just thought he
your
was whack for some reason.
Yeah.
We good. Yeah, man. No, 2 Chainz is
Like,
fucking
there's
dope,
definitely
man.
someone at that festival I could have gave it to better than 2 Chainz. Like
You gotta respect 2 Chainz because I mean, look, this guy he
best
could have
rebrand in
easily
hip hop, maybe.
best rebrand. He could have just packed it up and been like, "Hey, man, I got to do shit
Or
that most
Tom
people
Green.
would never say they never got to do," and walked away. But he stepped back in, and he stepped back in almost at 40 and reinvented himself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he's still popping. He's still making money. He's still relevant. He's more relevant than he was back then. So
Yeah.
shout out him. Shout out
Mad
everything he's
love
fucking
for
did.
2
And
Chainz.
get that money, 2 Chainz, aka Titty Boy,
And get
aka
that
Duffel
interview
Bag
for
Boy.
us, yo.
Get that duffel bag money, homie. Stay
Yeah.
away from the alphabet boys. We'll say that.
I
You
just
know what
want
I'm saying?
to
We
get
should
drunk
end
and
it off on
high
that.
on an airplane.
Hey. that's
Oh, you
what's
can get
up.
high before you get on the plane and you
No,
get
man,
drunk on the
drunk and
plane.
high.
You can get high on the airplane now because you can
Yeah.
bring some capsules with you or some edibles and just there you go.
I can't bring my heat.
Neither can Jules Santana.
I just-
Yeah.
Yo,
He's doing how many years? He's doing 10 or 15 or more.
They
Yeah.
haven't even sentenced him yet. He's got to do federal
We're
trial,
gonna
man.
wrap up the year on the next episode for our
Yeah.
last episode, but what was the best arrest this year in hip hop?
This
Best
guy.
arrest? Ooh,
Wow.
6ix9ine and Shoddy, man.
That's what you're happiest about?
I'm not happy about anybody going to
We're
jail.
supposed
I'm
to be
saying
happy
that's
about
what
you
it
arrest.
is. I'm never happy about someone going to jail,
The
bro.
best arrest.
Don't give me that shit. A lot of people are happy online,
What
though.
was the best
Yeah.
arrest?
Listen.
Who else?
I ain't happy about no motherfucking arrest. A lot of people are happy, but obviously 6ix9ine.
Oh,
sure.
let's see who Benzino joined.
Yeah, Ben, what the
Benzino's
fuck's up
about
with
to-
that?
Yo.
Benzino, Jules, not
And
Jules,
even Ty
Jim-
Dolla
yeah,
Sign too.
Ty Dolla Sign a
Let me
couple
just
days
make-
ago.
let me just
Jim
make-
Jones
Yeah,
looking
record
at some shit too.
I don't want no smoke with the
Cass.
main men. But Benzino head in that mugshot looks like a potato.
It kinda does. It kind of
It
does.
legit looks like a Mr. Potato Head like figure. Like
Listen,
you put
listen.
like 2 little plastic fucking hands coming out the fucking ears,
Yeah.
and that's literally Mr. Potato
Listen,
Head.
listen.
Like a little more wrinkly. He's like
Looking at
he's the potato
Benzino
that
right
you gotta
now,
cook today. Like
I don't even know if I should say this, but looking at Benzino as a fellow light skin, you know what I'm saying? it kind of scared me because, you know, I'm thought black don't crack, and I'm looking at him like, shit, I need to drink some fucking water and make sure I don't wind up like this guy.
Yeah,
like,
is.
not happy.
Like you kind of look, like you kind of looking like a foot callus.
Because if
right
you go to
now.
his,
Yeah,
if you go to his
fucked up,
Instagram,
man.
he looks alright. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
just bad timing.
It's just
you know?
like IG models that only
Stress
post from the tits up.
Oh shit, yeah, you know. They sit there take 3 hours just to get that one perfect pose with no cellulite and all the filters and whatnot. And man, you know,
What's
that's
harder?
what it is.
What's harder to hide? 150 pounds on the waist or the cracks in Benzino's face?
Oh fuck.
What's easier to edit on face or on
Wow.
Oh shit.
Well, there's ways to cover up anything on Photoshop.
Yeah.
So you gotta be a Photoshop artist. You know, you'll be able to do that.
I mean, you can do anything on Photoshop.
That's fucking mean, bro.
Talk to Justin Main. Talk to Justin Main, man.
That was
Wow.
pretty savage, eh?
Wow, I saw the post about you saying you look like a potato earlier
Shit.
when I
He does
shared
look
that.
like I looked at that and I was like, I legit for
He
a
does look
second
like Mr.
thought it was
Potato
a
Head.
fry recipe.
Potato head, Benzino.
I was like, oh,
head.
this looks like a bomb fry recipe.
Eminem's probably
back
laughing.
up and it's Benzino's face. I'm like, whoa.
Em's probably laughing.
Maybe, but M, you know, M at times looks a little suspect as well.
Yeah, he's
And I'm not talking that way, whatever. Just M looks, you know, he looks weird. There was a time when M, like, I would say maybe 10 years ago, where he came out on 106 and Park with 50, and it was like, yo, this guy was bloated. I think he said he was upwards of like 200 plus pounds, and he was just
When
like,
he
he was
was
ready
on
to
pills.
pass. Yeah, when he was on those pills, he was ready to pass out. He looked horrible. So same situation, man. And that's the thing that a lot of people in the industry right now, they're doing this fucking.
We need a
look at
hip-hop.
Kodak Black. Kodak Black's like fucking 22. He's fucking
He's
fat
supposed to
as
get
fuck
some
right now,
time
man.
too. Like
Kodak, yeah,
I
Kodak
saw
Black
something
looking
about
at
that, too.
sometime, right?
Yeah, this is not
Chief Keef, man.
disrespectful, but do you know what the one that hurts me the most?
Opiate bloat is real, folks.
Well, I'm not even talking about opiates,
Yeah.
but the increase of weight in an artist throughout their career that hurts
Yeah.
me the most
Yeah.
is Black Thought.
Really?
Yeah,
He
man.
didn't increase that much, though.
'Cause I don't want him to get to a point where like he can't be spitting that shit no more.
Yeah.
Like even like Biggie was punching in
How
and
big
out
is
and
Black
shit.
Thought
You know,
right
yeah,
now?
Big wasn't even that big.
How big is
Pun,
Black Thought right
you know how
now?
many times Pun has to punch in and out of a verse?
Well, hold the fuck
Like,
up. I see Black
I
Thought
don't want
on the
Reese to
Tonight
fucking
Show
do
all the
that.
time.
I don't-
How big is Black Thought at the moment? What the fuck's going on? That Black
Just
Thought,
look at
like,
him 96 till now. Like he's on a gradual growth.
yeah, but that's what happens to all men as we age.
He hides it with his beard pretty well.
But that's what happens.
Gradual growth.
That's what happens to all men as we age, bro.
No, not really.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
Busta did it in a different way.
Absolutely.
in his neck.
Yeah, Busta did it through fucking steroids, and Busta
I
right
think
now, like,
Busta's the original neck meme. Like,
listen. Busta Rhymes, because he got off the juice, he's so water fucking bloated, it's crazy. Him, Timberland, it's like, yo, when you roid up and you come off that shit, you get water bloated bad. Black Thought's he's just a regular dude. He aged. Black Thought's gonna be coming up on 50, bro.
yeah, I know, but
He's allowed to
Jay-Z
be.
ain't fat.
Yeah, but Jay-Z's also 6 foot something.
And
Black
I'm not
Thought's
just called
like
Black Thought fat either. He's
different diets,
he was a
man.
girl, you call him thick.
Different diets, bro. Different diets, different body archetypes. You know what I'm saying? But Jay-Z's like he's a 6'4" motherfucker. He's tall. He's lean. You know what
Don't
I'm
mean
saying?
nothing.
Yo, where'd he get all that hair from?
Yeah. Where the dreads come from, homie?
Yo,
What the fuck,
you see
nigga?
growing dreads legit.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm fucking
That's
pissed.
okay.
Jay-Z with dreads is
I'm
a tricky
pissed.
thought.
I'm jealous that Jay-Z
Yeah.
can grow better hair than me at fucking however old he is
Yeah,
and
he's
how
like
old I
49
am.
or 50?
Yeah, 49, man. Fuck.
You
Shout out
think he ever
Jay-Z.
bought a hairline?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
No, his hairline's always been nice, man.
I mean, he can get a trim, but yeah, he can do anything. He got money. He can do whatever
Jay-Z
the fuck
always
he
been good with
wants.
the hairline, man. There ain't never been one period of time where you look and like, oh shit, this guy's hairline's receding. Same thing with Nas. Nas is just now starting a little bit, but he never been like Redman. You can tell it's like, oh, Redman has been pushed back a little bit. He still braids it and whatnot, but you can tell it's a little whatever. But you look at Meth, Meth's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z's perfect. Nas damn near perfect.
Are you
Diddy,
leaving your girlfriend if she fucks Method Man?
yeah, of
Or
course.
can you let that one slide?
Fuck that
Can you
shit.
be like, I, you
Fuck
know,
that
I
shit.
understand.
No.
Makeups to breakups.
No. Ain't happening.
All right.
Ain't happening. I ain't with
That's
that
a good
shit.
question.
I ain't with
That's a
that
good question.
shit.
That's a good question.
I ain't with that shit.
What
What if it's out
celebrity would you allow
You let it
your
slide, or you like,
partner
you know
for?
what? I understand.
You know what? My girl told
I
me a
need
long
that.
time. She's like, yeah, Vin Diesel's like my buy, whatever. Like,
Oh, man.
the whatever, the one that she would like get a buy on if she fucking
Oh, yeah.
whatever. I'm just like,
My
yeah,
girlfriend fucks
whatever.
Vin Diesel. O.J. Simpson Part 2's happening.
Was that?
O.J. Simpson Part 2's happening if my girl fucks Vin Diesel.
So who do you?
Are you gonna be Kato Kalin or are you gonna be OJ?
I don't know. They don't really do Broncos anymore, do they? So I have to get like a white Nissan.
A white fucking white Range
Yeah.
Rover.
A white fucking smart car.
Yeah.
One of those little fucking tiny things.
Get a Hummer. Get a white H2.
And
that's
I mean,
it.
Rob Kardashian can't be my lawyer, but maybe Bruce Jenner can. Or Caitlyn.
He's a fucking athlete. She's an athlete. Decathlete.
Is
Like,
she still an athlete though?
yeah.
I don't know.
She'll probably kick the fucking shit out you. Yeah, decathlete.
Who's winning in a fight? Fucking
Caitlyn Jenner or
Serena Williams.
Oh,
Serena
fuck.
Jenner.
Wow.
I'm going with Caitlyn. I'm gonna go with Caitlyn in this. I'm gonna still
I'll
say
put my
Caitlyn.
money on
I go with Serena, bro.
Again, yeah, Serena's from the hood. Serena's from the hood, so Serena, like, I mean, being a decathlete and knowing how to throw down turkey
That's a
tables, right?
fucking
So,
big question.
I think it's
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Like,
I kick
Serena's-
from, I kick from like you look at her like casual like
Wow.
a kick from Serena's like a kick from Joe Rogan.
no, but you also talk about Olympic level.
That's the
fucking
name of the episode, Joe Rogan kicks.
Joe Rogan kicks.
We get into the.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here on the Joe
Yeah,
Rogan
yeah,
kicks.
Wow.
Shout out to Joe
That's definitely gonna have to
Rogan.
be brought into the.
We're
post,
pushing
the
140 to
poster
get the
show.
fuck out of here. The Joe Rogan kicks.
That's it.
Joe
We out?
Rogan kicks. We out? Is that how we're gonna finish it? We're not even gonna end it. We're just out on the Joe Rogan kicks.
Yeah, we just
Alright.
ended that one real awkward and offbeat.
Yeah,
Alright,
make
we
sure
out
you
on the
check
Joe
out
Rogan
Turono
kicks,
Talks
man.
podcast.
We're gonna finish
Blah
it
blah.
off.
Somewhere on this Instagram thing. Yeah, please.
Shout out to all my people who don't wear underwear. Sometimes you don't need your undies to bleed. Breathe. Share.
That's There we go. Pow. That was an interesting show. Oh, man.
The Joe Rogan kicks. Pow, pow, power wheels.
Oh my
Pow,
God.
pow, power
Definitely gotta put that
power
on the book. Who
wheels.
would win in a fight? Yo, trust me, I know people are gonna lose their shit. Why are you comparing them? Because you know people like compare
Yeah.
her to being a man,
Yeah.
and he's not really a girl.
That's
so
why
it's just
I
like, oh my god, this gonna cost.
That's why I was like, this is a fire comparison right here.
And they're both athletes.
Yeah, man. Isn't that a fair question?
It is, and it puts the whole thing about transgender people being in women's sports
Yeah.
and winning, right?
Yeah.
But if they don't win, is it wrong for them to be in it, right? Because every time a dude beats up a chick or a transgender beats up a chick, it's like, oh well, it's because they're masculine,
Yeah.
and it's not fair. But if they're not winning, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, in New York, though, they got the thing now. They got was it the genderless bathroom or some shit?
Oh yeah, we could talk
Yeah.
about that. I ain't even mad. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck about it at all.
I don't really care.
Listen.
I like unisex washrooms, so I don't
Listen,
give a fuck.
If I walk
You just
into an
turn everywhere to
establishment,
the tunnel.
if I walk into an establishment and I gotta go to the washroom,
I
I
wanna
don't give a
pee.
fuck if it's a female washroom or a male washroom. I'm going to
Yeah.
Tim Hortons and I gotta take
Yeah,
a piss,
I go
and
to
I know
women's-
that
I go to
like I see a woman
women's
come out of the
washroom.
women's washroom and I know no one else. I go right in and piss.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
The
I go to
toilet
Starbucks,
is
I
a
give a shit.
toilet, man.
I gotta piss. I gotta shit. I
I
can
just
do
don't
it.
want to be shitting in a stall next to a chick.
It happens though.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Nah.
matter. If you go to
No, I take some
fucking
nasty shits, fam.
Listen.
That's fine. They can smell it.
go to Lee's Palace, you go to
No,
Lee's-
they can hear it.
but you know
That's even better.
you know how common it is now.
You're not gonna see that person again.
And if that's the case, listen, Maloney, if that's the case, you probably do want to hear it because you know she's probably got some good coke for you to fucking try. Or it might be bad because it got too much cut in it.
Man, you know my favorite washroom's at 7 nightclub, bro. It's just
Right?
guys and girls going in the washroom. Nobody cares.
Is that the same thing with thing now? Fucking
It's
Lee's
even more.
Palace.
It's even more fun.
Lee's Palace Dance Cave.
Yeah.
They have the thing and they have the guys, girls, and the fucking one. But it's not like every Yorkdale washroom is
Guys,
unisex.
yeah.
They have ones that are male, female. They just have one.
I think they're just making it such a big deal. It's like we're humans. We gotta piss.
They have a fucking unisex change room.
Yeah.
I was at a community center going swimming and like this woman cheating like beside me and I'm like, oh, okay, alright, whatever. I'm just gonna shower. Yeah.
It's not that serious, and people just make it more serious than it really is, man.
That should be offending you or hurting you or fucking with your head other than the fact that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want to see dudes. I don't want to see fucking dudes in the men's washroom. So I don't know. I remember I had to play for the parents. I had to clean the women's washroom. That was the best place to be.
I actually,
I'm there coming in there, I'm cleaning, the chicks don't even be caring that I'm there. I'm like,
I didn't even talk about it. I didn't even talk about when we brought up the whole thing. You know what I mean? But like, because I read it before, so I went and researched it again. Like Huey Newton and on his whole relationship and the Black Panthers' relationship with gay people. At first, the Panthers hated gay people, and then what happened was one of the fucking writers, the guy who did the book of like the book of Negro or whatever. I seen he was down with the Panthers back in the day. He was one of the writers or whatever, and he started talking to him. A few other people started talking to him, showing him like, yo, like you're using these words and you're calling these things or whatever. It's no different than the way some people are talking to you. So they started changing their stance and they started realizing like, yo, these guys can be revolutionary just as much as us.
Yeah.
And like the thing that he said, what it is people fear homosexuality. They fear that because you appear to be less masculine than they think you should be, that they are in some way going to become less masculine. They fear it like it's a fucking contagious disease, which is the same thing you do with black people, right? But that's what it boils down to. Your notions of how masculine or feminine this person should be is distorted.
So that's it. How you doing?
How you doing? Good?
I'm good.
They change up their
Okay, so that. Okay. Oh, there it is. That's why it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how the dynamics with Kevin Hart and all this stuff is
Right.
working because
Well,
it's borderline on a lot of stuff,
with
right?
hip hop, we're so anti, you know what I mean? To the
Yeah.
point where we don't even know the history
Where it
of
comes from.
even how these things start, like the history of like things like Stonewall and whatnot, and
Yeah.
how it relates to black people as well.
Yeah.
We are the ones who started things like Pride.
Yeah,
because we're the ones who
Yeah.
bear the brunt. Well,
Yeah,
not
what's
saying
that?
me, but you know, like black homosexuals at that
Yeah,
time
yeah.
period, and they were just as revolutionary as the Panthers.
But-
Their cause coming up at the same
Yeah,
time.
at the same time. But that's the whole thing, like. That's why even when Black Lives Matter did that thing at
At Pride, they should have been way more supported
Yeah.
in the city, within that community,
Yeah.
than some of the people, because some of the people
Yeah.
didn't understand. Thank you, good sir.
where it's coming from.